Shut the hell up. Here we go.
You gotta pour some syrup on that ass.
Way to ruin the end of the stinger, monster, you ass. Welcome to the show, boys. It's the Drunk Take, and we are back live in your fucking faces. So, we're making it a little different here. If those of you that are watching on Twitch and on YouTube, you'll notice I'm sandwiched in the middle of two bearded assholes. That one over there, that's UKzMonster, Twitch streamer and good friend of mine. Over there, that's, you know, the drunken asshole who I do this with every week. So, say hi, Monster.
Hi. How's it going?
Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
What's going on, boys? How we doing?
I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad yourself.
I'm all right. It's been a good week for me. Well, double doubles, but you know how it is. What about you? What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I've actually been pretty good. I've had a long ass week, so I'm looking forward to getting drunk and having some bullshittery.
Right. So you had a long ass drive the other day, right? 10 and a half hours?
22.
What was it?
22 hours.
Well, yeah, there and back it was 22.
22.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it didn't stop. You just keep on going. You truck it through. With no security people, we don't get to just sit in a wee room.
Hey, I don't want to sit in a wee room, you asshole. Shut up.
We have to go out and actually work.
Hey, I work. I earn my money, goddammit. So you went all the way down to Wales, right? Wales and back?
No, was down Clacton-on-Sea, which is down the very east coast next to London, and then I had to shoot back across country to Bristol, which is kind of on the borderish of Wales, and then come straight back up because I had other work on Friday as well. So it was a bit of a pain, but we got there in the end, and I got a shitload of money for it. So win-win.
No free hotel stays this weekend?
Nah, we didn't get that one. I was going to, but I thought, do you know what? I just want to be home. I want my own bed this time.
Right.
I want your
Who needs a jacuzzi this week?
Yeah, who needs a jacuzzi this week? I need a jacuzzi.
I could do one of them.
What about you, Monster? How was your week?
Yeah, it's been good, mate. It's been good. Stream most of the week. Daddy duty most of the week because my daughter's off for 2 weeks for school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just playing loads of games like I do. Just doing normal stuff.
Everybody in chat, we will for those of you that are hanging out in chat and new to the show, if you want to add your 2 cents or whatnot, we'll address it. And anybody who drops a follow or whatever, I won't acknowledge it, because I don't want to break up the flow of conversation, but we do appreciate it. But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, Monster. We got some people saying stuff, and I didn't want them to get upset. So,
that's good, mate.
You said your daughter is home from school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's home from school 2 weeks for the Easter holidays. So, yeah.
Might have been home all
Remember
year.
those days?
I've been home all year.
As I get yelled at off camera. Yeah, I haven't had to deal with them, thank God, but Bernadette has. They've been doing virtual school because of the pandemic, so
yes,
that's a whole.
It's been a strain on everybody, that isn't it?
It's been a whole shit show over here. But Bernadette's handled it like a champ. One of my kids is doing good. The other one is just the things I would do to him if I could to get him to get good grades.
How do we?
That's neither here nor there. But so, what have you been streaming lately? I popped in a little bit, Monster. What have you been playing?
Mostly Apex recently, but I did have a go Spyro the Dragon on Friday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was it Friday? It wasn't too bad. I've not played that since the PlayStation 1, PS2 days. It was pretty fun.
Spyro's great. The Spyro series is great. I can't stand Apex.
It was a really fun game.
Yeah.
I've not completed it yet. I got quite far into it though in an hour.
Are you gonna complete it or?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely gonna complete it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, me this week I've been. I did Neo 2. I did some Horizon Zero Dawn.
You played Neo?
Yeah, 902 actually. I got the complete
Fucking
edition.
hard game, that mate.
Oh, dude, I spent 2.5 hours getting 2 mini bosses. I get through 2 mini bosses, come around the corner, and a horse with a giant fucking chainsaw kills me in 10 seconds.
I played the first one, got
like,
3 hours into it, and didn't even get off the first level.
I was like, nope. I threw my hands up, like, nope, no. And then last night I streamed Man with Dan with my friend Dread Pirate Reynolds, and we had a perfect run up until the last 20 minutes when I got the best character in the game killed and got the distributor cap for the ship broken. And
Yeah. Party. Best day ever. Party.
Damn it.
So much
But,
party.
it's been good. Work sucks.
Party till you drop.
But
Say it again.
we bought a new
yeah,
car. We
right.
bought a new car yesterday for the move, so that was good. So we got that
Nice.
big hiccup out of the way. Hopefully, we got a good feeling about it. But other than that, not a whole lot. But Chris, besides driving, what else have you been doing? Any footballing or catching any of the games or whatnot?
Yeah. Party.
Not really. They were
Party,
playing
party,
this
party. So
morning.
much party.
Or no, this morning. Literally, like
Say it
2
again.
hours ago,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
finished. And then I've been catching up on the women's football. I've been
Oh,
watching that all day today. But other than that, I've really not had the time. I've literally just been driving and sleeping.
Driving and
That's
sleeping.
pretty much been it. Like Friday and Saturday, I was out of commission. I woke up after doing that big long drive. I woke up, I couldn't even move. My back felt as if it was just in two. I was like, I'm getting far too fucking old for this.
Well, didn't you tell me
this
a couple months ago?
spending hours and days fucking driving are long behind me now.
Well, didn't you tell me a couple months ago that you wanted to get back in the truck and do the long drives? Now you're like, fuck it, I'm too old.
Yeah. That was always the plan, was that because I used to do it. I done it for years and everything was fine. But I think just having those last like maybe 3 years of just doing the short distance ones is just it's
Made you soft.
yeah. No, that's pretty much it. It's completely and utterly buggered me.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, it'd
struggling.
drain you like concentration as well, or driving that amount of hours. Imagine having to
Yeah,
like,
I think
concentrate.
that's
on
the
it.
yeah. That's the thing. Like it's the physical aspect's fine because you're just sitting there, but it's like you're having to
Even
be
still, it's
constantly
still
at
a
your top.
workout as well, though. Like doing clutch and accelerators and braking, and if
Well,
you're in
I've got an
traffic.
automatic car.
Oh,
Fair enough.
what?
Fair enough.
You got an automatic,
Exactly.
you lazy bitch.
I mean, the van is the automatic. It's my car that's automatic because when I went to buy my car, I was going in to get a manual, but the manual of the car I wanted was this like shitty silver. It was like scratched silver. See the old Saabs you used to get, where it's like it looks scratched. It was like that, and they had a black one. And it was an automatic, and I went, "Okay, I want the black one." So I ended up with an automatic car. That was the only reason as to why I got it, and I
Fair
wouldn't
enough.
go back.
You know what's
Like, I'm
crazy, though,
fighting
Doc?
to get
I
all
think
the
you're
vans
first
in automatic.
American that said, "Nah, fuck that. You need a stick shift." Normally, they're the all the ones for the automatics, the Americans, and it.
I love driving
Crazy.
stick shift. It's my favorite thing to drive, but I haven't had one since my other car died, so I feel you on that.
Fair enough.
I can do this.
Girlfriend's showing me
Just so
shit.
you're aware.
Uh-huh. You're having a couples debate. That's good, dear.
Yeah, we are.
I'm glad I'm having a debate over here as well. So, this is the part of the show where we do the disclaimer because the lawyers are in the
Shouty?
corner staring at me
You a full stack of waffle cakes.
before the sub
You gotta pour some
plays
syrup
out.
on that ass.
I'm gonna go
Hold
through a
that
lot.
mask.
I'm gonna go through a lot of syrup this month because a lot of resubs are happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through a lot of syrup. Put some syrup on that ass.
That's right. Put some syrup on that ass. So this is the disclaimer. I can't talk. I just started drinking. So the lawyers want me to tell you, under threat of beating me to death, that if you are going to join us for a drink on the show, please do so. Be of legal drinking age for your region and drink responsibly and do not drink and drive. That being said, Chris, what vile concoction of bullshit are you drinking this week?
Right, don't hate me because it's actually quite nice.
Oh, God, here it goes.
But it is from a brewery called Northern Monk that's from Leeds, and it's their Twist edition. I actually like. I'm going to link their website into the chat or the descriptions and stuff because they have a shit ton of good looking beer. Like it's
Right.
just they don't have beer; they have all these mad crazy concoctions and that. I'm actually in talks with them to getting a drunk tank beer made.
Oh,
That's
let's
what
go!
I'm
Are they
doing
like-
with it.
Are they
But-
like a draft or a stout?
No, it's like they do all different ones. That you can get ales, you can get pale ales, you can get the Indian ales, you could get porters, stouts, just a beer, a lager. Like they do everything, but they kind of make it to your. Like the one I'm drinking today, obviously it was an American that came up with it, because other than that, I can't think why. Or it was a British guy thinking Americans would like it. But it's Stars
Probably
and
the latter.
Stripes, peanut butter and jelly porter.
Mm.
And
Actually, it does
it's
sound
got-
nice, though, to be fair.
It's got a kind of it's like obviously American jelly is British jam, like
Yeah.
Right.
like because we understand the English language.
You know
But
what? Don't start that shit. I'll slap you. I'll get on the plane and slap the shit out of you.
but it has got that sort of. It's not quite a jammy Dodger, but
Right.
it's got that subtle like grape jelly,
Yeah.
like the jammy sort of flavor. I can't taste peanut butter. But I think that's probably why it tastes
peanut butter
okay.
would have overtook like the taste of the jam, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I thought that's going to be quite bad then. But with it not having the peanut, it's more just like a fruity beer. But like you can taste like it has got that. It's like a thicker. It's not quite Guinness thick, but it's not like beer thick.
Oh, okay.
Guinness. That is one thing I can't drink. Oh, my granddad drinks that, and it's.
You can't drink
Oh, I
Guinness,
love my
Monster?
Guinness.
No.
I
Why
love
not?
my Guinness.
I don't know. I tried it once or twice when my granddad had it, and it was just. No, it was too much for me. That stuff. It's just. But the funny thing is, my uncle says when you drink it the next day, you'll end up going to the toilet and just shitting charcoal. So yeah.
I mean, I can confirm it's scientifically proven, but it tastes fucking good.
I've had a pint or two of Guinness over here. There's just, I mean, the fucking burnt peat mossy flavor of it. Just it's almost like similar to coffee to me. It's just like it's a flavor that I just can't do it. I mean, I'll drink it, but like, just
You need to
it's
go
heavy.
to Dublin and try it. Try it in Dublin. Dublin it is. Like, even me, I like it here, but see in Dublin, it's almost as if it's just water. It's so much smoother
Right.
than the draft in the cans here. Even
Yeah,
though it's not as if they're having to transport it that far. Like, we could literally just open up a pipe, fill the Guinness to transport it between the countries, but it just... Dublin or Ireland in whole is just so much better, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to be able to go back just to get steaming. Like I happily go to Dublin again just to go and drink. That's
Yeah.
I've always
that's
wanted to
my
go to
plan,
Ireland
COVID.
and Dublin for fishing. Me, I've always
Fishing?
wanted to go over there and go fishing. Yeah. Same with America though. I've always wanted to go to America for bass fishing. It just looks really fun to do.
Yeah, you did mention it a couple times that you enjoy
Mhm.
fishing. What, like, why?
Yeah.
Why fishing, Monster?
Because, well, when I was younger and when I did used to see my dad used to go a hell of a lot, and he used to take me when I did used to see him when I was younger, and that's where I got like something my fishing bug from. So as soon as I hooked my first fish, it was like, yo, this is pretty good. This, but people are like, oh, it's boring. You just sat there doing nothing. But when you think about it, you need to know watercraft. You need to have that sort of watercraft skill and where you know the fish are going to be held up depending on the seasons of the year. Because if it's cold, they'll be in deeper water. If it's warmer, they'll be in shallower water. If the wind's coming at you, you're in more of an advantage because even if you're on a static pond, the wind's going to cause an undercurrent because it'll push it this way and push it under. Do you know what I mean? So everything that was on the bottom will get pushed this way. So all the fish will come feed in wherever the wind's going type thing. So there is a lot to it, but pretty much why I sat there doing nothing all day. But it is a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
No, don't, Joanne. Don't. No, I did. She legitimately had just bought the fucking car. We went fishing, and I just bought a new phone. Went fishing, and it was on wooden slats, and it was like gaps this big, like this big. Yeah, made no zip pockets, stood up, phone went bloop. Next time we went, car keys, bloop. Got them back though. I didn't get them
Now-
back, but
Monster, do you do typical bait and reel, or do you fly fish?
bait and reel. But I did used to use like dead baits and artificial lures to catch predators, and I caught also. I've actually got pictures of me fish.
Oh,
I've got,
dude,
I've caught.
you're one of those guys that's I caught this.
Oh, mate, I caught some pretty big fish. To be fair,
Yeah.
ones with
I've got a
big teeth.
similar photo album in my phone for Tinder.
Dude, yeah, your Tinder adventures, Chris, are pretty legendary on Discord.
I like that. I do like
This is one that I caught yesterday.
that.
But yeah, so that's. I mean, I don't. My girlfriend fishes. I don't. I'll just be like, you can sit in a boat and fish.
she's
We got some.
she's got there. That see, she knows what she's doing. She
Uh-huh.
knows what it's fun, mate. You should try it.
But I do spear fishing. Like I grew up in Upper Michigan.
I tried. I definitely tried. I was like catfish.
So we've done spear fishing on my friend's land. So, but that's the only fishing I do, and I can't sit in a boat or on a bank for hours and be like sitting there. I have to do something active when I fish, and spear fishing is a thing.
Excuse the photo if you can see it, but there's a younger version of me. I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah, we can see it. Ooh,
Hey.
goddamn, you kind of handsome in your younger days. What happened?
no, what? No, I look like I didn't eat. Leave me alone. I look like I was about to actually eat that fish. To be fair,
Mhm.
I didn't. I put it back, but that was my biggest river fish. That one.
What was
I
it?
think that was
that
a
a-
barbel at 11 pound 9 ounces. It was.
Yeah, was that?
And
was it
and
a
normally
bass or-
average of fish caught in that Pacific River was on like 13 pound of that type of fish.
What type of
and
fish was it?
A barbel, it was one of the hardest fighting river fish you could ever catch.
I've
It,
never heard of it.
They're amazing. The bottom feeders, because the mouth's like right underneath here, so they can't really take from surface.
Is
So
it like
they're
a
always on the
catfish?
bottom. Pretty much, yeah. They've got like the long, not as long
so it's
barbels
a,
as
it's
a
a type of
catfish.
catfish.
No, it's not a type of
No.
catfish. No, we can catch catfish in our rivers, and there's crayfish in there and stuff like that. But you have to have a license to be able to catch them and take them
Oh,
home
okay.
and eat them and
That's
all that type of
interesting.
stuff.
But yeah, like I don't fish. I hunted as a kid. I love hunting.
So that's another thing I'd love to try and do.
Yeah. Do you want to
Yeah,
do
but
like
I've-
stand hunting or do you want to do spot and stalk?
I'd do any, mate. I'd do any. I'd go out with if it was snaring, rifle, any. I'd try it all, me. I genuinely wouldn't mind.
I can't stand stand.
I wouldn't
hunting.
do it just for like the prize kill.
Well,
I
yeah.
would do it to eat. Obviously, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't just do it and oh, he's dead now. Bye.
Yeah.
I know that
exactly.
type of shit.
But yeah, I do. I prefer spot and stalk, where you pack a sack, you carry your weapon with you, and you truck into the woods and you look at droppings and try and find out where that animal is, and then you
It's
wait.
good though, isn't it? Because it's you never know when that's going to happen in life. That could happen
Mhm.
where you've got to do that again. Because
Yeah.
hunter gatherer, that's where we came from. If you think about it, hunter gathering, and we wouldn't be
100%.
fucking living if we didn't do none of that stuff. So it was definitely worth it.
Right. What about you, Chris? Where do you stand on the fishing and hunting, like as a hobby or like a thing?
Genuinely have zero interest.
like fuck all that noise.
like I'm happy people can do whatever they want, but
Mhm.
myself, like I'm really know that
Mhm.
that first. I don't see the like you were saying, so I'd be more for like the food and the eating and stuff like that.
The food part
But-
of it.
But it's that kind of way, like you'd said that we used to be hunter gatherers. So like science has proven that we're actually more gatherers. We only
Yeah.
hunted
Yeah.
like once a
Yeah.
month. If
Yeah, that's
that.
what I mean. That's what I'm
So,
saying.
It's
Do
like
you know what the thing is though? Like back then, if you think about it, when we used to eat back then, we used to eat once every couple of days. Do you know what I mean? Because you had to preserve your food back then.
Well,
Where
meal,
now we're
yeah.
eating free.
even at that, it
You
was
know what I
more
mean?
that we were more vegetarian. Like people ate more like
That would've
foraging.
been-
It was just
Apparently as well,
because
it's been-
men were that incompetent at hunting that they only went out like once a month because they would go out and take like a week. So during that week, the women would be away foraging all the stuff that's keeping
Yeah.
people alive in the camp while the men were away.
Same with medicines as
Fanning
well.
about
Though,
it,
wasn't it?
yeah.
It was the women that went and got all the medicines and all
Yeah,
that type of
exactly.
stuff as well.
Like it's like that's one of the funniest thing when you talk about like civilization these days. You're like, in all fairness, women started us off as the dominant ones. Like,
yeah, right. 'cause
we
they actually
they
have
just
brains.
let us fuck off and do what we wanted. Like we would fuck off. They were hunting for 7 days, come back with one deer that's supposed to feed a family of 74. and be like, "Yep, we done good work here." And they're like, "Have you not seen all the fruit and veg?"
And the nuts, yeah, all the nuts they collected. But yeah, so Monster, what are you drinking today? I know you're not drinking alcohol, but what are you sipping on during the show?
A sugar-free Monster Energy. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
of
see
course,
it properly.
on brand for you.
Well, Monster, you know you want to.
Well,
And then I've just got my coffee as usual.
I don't-
can't go nowhere without coffee.
I
man.
don't understand Monster energy drinks. They taste like shit.
Not these ones. I used to be addicted to just the original black
Right.
can green label, but then I tried the black can orange label, which was called Ripper, and then that one just tasted like refreshes to me. So I just drunk that one for years. But this one, without the sugar free in it, it's more like a fruit juice than it is
Oh,
a
yeah.
carbonated drink. So, and it's a lot better for my teeth and
Monster
cutting
raw
sugar
seeds.
out.
Yeah, probably Hendo. Yeah, no, that's cool. Like I don't know. I drink when I'm doing doubles at work, I drink those Reigns body fuel.
I've never tried them.
They're not like Monster. They're like filled with branched chain amino acids and electrolytes and CoQ10 and a bunch of shit like that because a power lifter, the Mountain from Game of Thrones, that's his brand. And it's just chock full of like good shit, and that's actually
He's fighting
really
Eddie Hall soon, isn't he?
He is fighting Eddie Hall. I can't wait to see
for
that.
Me,
That's
mate.
gonna.
I'm buying that. I can't wait to watch that.
I want to watch that so bad.
I want to watch that, and I want to watch the. I don't know if you know him, but the Ben Askren and Jake Paul fight.
Who the fuck you talking to?
Well.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Ben Askren is gonna fuck that boy like he's a fucking
I can't wait
pound
to watch that shit, me.
Oh my god!
I love all the UFC and boxing. I always have done.
How
I
do
never
you-
had the confidence to go and actually pursue it, but I have always wanted to get
You're a
into
couch
it.
coach. That's
Yeah,
pretty much-
definitely, mate.
Like you know
Have you
exactly
seen
how
my
he should be
muscles?
fighting, but you wouldn't go and do it yourself.
I've done it, and I've trained people.
I would love to do it. I did actually go to a boxing gym one time, but yeah, me and my confidence issues. I got there and it was like all these big bulky men, and it's like, yeah, I'm sparring on the use.
I'm
I
not
know
getting
I'm
my
coming
face
home and no less people I've already got.
Yeah, no, it's. I'll tell you what. I've done some mixed martial arts fights, local like tournament stuff, and I've trained fighters for a long time. Balls. You gotta have stones.
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Dude, getting punched in the face? Not my jam.
When it comes down to it, yeah, I'm down to brawl, but fighting somebody for no reason at all. Obviously, if you're getting paid, you're fighting for
You
a
ain't
reason.
getting paid shit though.
That's what I mean. Like at the beginning, you're not going to get paid nothing, but I would do it just for the discipline and the health benefits from it. Do you know what I mean? From
I was going to say
like
that
that.
because, like, you literally just said that you would be into doing a brawl, but you wouldn't fight for nothing. So unless you were getting, and it was like, well, fighting in the UFC, like fighting some
Yeah, if I
guy
was in the
down the
UFC,
street
gonna
because
get-
he stole your chicken nugget, I would say that's less important than fighting.
yeah,
somebody
do you know
for-
what I mean? You got to know when to walk away, type shit. But if it was someone there and I'm backed into a corner, it's like, right, fuck it, I'm going. But if it was just some idiot on the street who was a bit drunk and he's like trying to start shit with me, but just fucking walk away from that shit. I don't.
You just
fuck
push
about
them
it,
because, like,
Yeah,
they're
do you know,
top
they could
heavy
fall
at that
over
point.
anyway.
You just fucking boom them down, you run away. So
But
that's the
yeah,
best
I
way.
wouldn't just fight for literally no reason. I wouldn't just go up to some random person on the street to clock him in the face like, yeah, what? I won't do none of that.
Yeah,
But,
That's
I
a
would.
bit too far.
I told Chris, I said, when I come over to Scotland, we're starting a bar fight.
Oh, that's probably every week. Well, not since COVID, but that's probably every week. And Jesus,
You
You'd
just have to
know
go
what
to the
that
right
meant.
places. Most places you actually don't have any problems like that. Everybody gets drunk, everybody dances, everybody has a great time. You just have these nutters, and it's the same. I think it's the same. You've just got all the arseholes that
Yeah,
doing it for
definitely.
everybody. They get too drunk, they get phoned down, and it's like, and they get mouthy with the security. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's the problem. So everybody just wants to go. Anybody that goes out to start something is just a prick.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you're there to enjoy yourself, then
There's always
that's what I'd
somebody there
like
to
to
try and
think
ruin
everyone's
somebody's
like.
night, though. You always
Aye.
get them.
Yeah.
Always. But
To be fair,
Fuck them.
a couple of the bar fights I've been in haven't been my fault.
yeah.
I mean, one of them was, but we're not. That's not now. That's neither here nor there.
We'll save
Yeah,
that one
I've
for the
never
judge.
been in an actual bar fight. I've thrown a chair one time.
I've never been in a bar fight, but
I've never actually been in the bar fight. Like there was a whole big Barney that had kicked off, and me in a drunken state just threw a chair. But like I then left, so I wasn't really involved in it.
Well, you wasn't until you threw the chair, but
Yeah, but then I left, so I was only like split seconds. It was only while the chair was in the air that I was involved in the fight. But other than that, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go and enjoy drinking.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like you think about it. Like I've been a bartender and a bouncer I worked it for a while, and some of the shit you see gets fucking buck wild, man. Like it's crazy. Some of the stuff.
you know that'd actually be quite an interesting job. You know, like being a bartender, and even on security, you'd see some funny shit, and you see some crazy stuff as well. It'd be fucking hilarious. That.
One of the weirdest things I ever saw was an 8-month pregnant chick in a mosh pit. Yeah, exactly.
Or the ones where they're like fucking.
The mosh world pulls you in and does not let you go. Sometimes the mosh just has to be done.
Well, yeah, I saw that start up, and I was like, this is gonna end badly. And sure enough, dude, some dude just fucking body checked her into the wall, man. She bounced off the wall, slid to the ground. I come jumping off the fucking stand, break up the mosh pit, and her boyfriend's like, the fuck happened? And he's trying to lean over the top of her, and I'm like this, holding him back like this, checking on the pregnant chick who's unconscious. He's like, what are you doing to my girl? I'm like, seeing if she's not dead, asshole. Yeah, there's some wild shit that happens when you work in, like, especially like I worked in a lot of bars that have live music or DJs. That shit, oh god. And it's not the crowd that you would think that starts the shit. It's the one crowd they're like, oh, okay, these guys will be fine. And no, it's the one crowd that's like you don't expect.
Yeah, it's always the way. You always got to watch for the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Always.
Like fucking woo girls in a live show are the worst because they will start fights with any other chick on the floor just for no reason because her hair is different or her fucking top is off.
You got the same dress as me.
Exactly. Like women in a live music situation, they throw down more than dudes. It's hilarious. Like I've broken up more cat fights than I've broken up dude brawls as a bartender and bouncer. And I'm not trying to be an ass about it. That's just facts. And like you come out of a bar fight with like chicks, you're all clawed and bleeding, your shirt's torn. Oh. You come out of a bar fight with a dude, you got a black eye. Women are mean when they fight in a bar fight.
They're mean.
They were like, I've had my hair, like I never got my hair pulled by a dude in a fight, but a chick, oh yeah, yank me by the hair, try and slam my head on the table. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Women are vicious in a bar fight. No,
yeah. It's one of the reasons why with the likes of security, as much as I have weed slide digs with you, because like for obvious reasons, like on the doors and that, it's a job that I'll always have respect for the people that do, because some of the shit that you must go through is just like, I've heard some stories of shit that you've went through, and I've seen things that have happened, and it's like I have the utmost respect, but I mean, you still have it easy.
Yeah, I get to sit in a cushy chair in a shitty office. Yeah, I got it easy.
Exactly. Like fuck, you're the one that have to deal with delivery drivers. Like the delivery drivers have had to drive all the way out to you.
Suck it up, Buttercup. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. To keep with our theme, as I got lost in the conversation, I'm drinking this New Glarus Serendipity. It's kind of a fruity honey kind of fruit ale. It's my jam. I like it. It's good. Again,
this is my jam.
It's not jam and peanut butter, is it?
What was it?
It's not jam and peanut butter, is it?
No. Looks like I got cherries and apples, and I've got
Is it a cider?
No, it's a fruit ale.
Oh,
so it's an actual ale, but it's made with fruit more than like hops and shit like that.
These are fruit, like a few like fruit ciders that I do like drinking.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Thank you, Tim.
Right. Here's a question for you, Monster. That'll make or break if Dox is going to talk to you for the rest of the podcast.
Here we go.
What are your feelings towards Budweiser?
Oh.
By the sound of that noise, he's not going to like my answer. But that is the only like lager I do drink. That and
right
Foster's.
there. Fuck both of you. Why do you drink shit beer? It's shit
And I'm not even
beer.
joking. That is what I was gonna buy if I was gonna could have drunk today was Budweiser.
I'd have
or
kicked you
fucking
off the show.
Daniels. I'm not joking.
I said, get the fuck out. You no.
I'm sorry,
Why?
not, but yeah, it's. I don't know, like if I try and drink Stella or I don't know, fucking. There's one called Crystal or some shit. It's who's it made by? It's made by a different company. They just taste too watery for me. Where them ones, they actually got some sort of a taste to them. Where them other ones, they just taste watered down to me. Well, apart from Stella, that's just killer. That stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck's in that
What
shit.
was what I said about the kind of beer stocks? I can't remember that there was a sentence that I described the
No.
likes of Budweisers and Carlins and
No.
I can't remember
I got
what it was.
PTSD. Don't go there.
And it was one of the best. Oh, I can't even remember what
You called it the
phrase was.
gatekeeper of the night.
That's it. Those beers are the gatekeepers of the night because they're the type of beers, like at the start, see when all you care about is flavour, you'll have like your whiskies and your vodkas or anything like that, what tastes good. And then when you get to that point of no return where you don't give a fuck, you want to get drunk, it's your Budweisers, Carling, fucking Heineken,
No.
it's the shitty dregs of beer that the taste means nothing. All you care about is the alcohol content. That is why Budweiser is a necessity to the drunken night out.
You know the thing that baffled me when I first
hate
ever
both of
found
you.
out is that lagers take 45 minutes to take an effect into your system. And me, when I was younger, I never knew that. So I'm drinking 4 or 5 at a time, and 45 minutes later, it's
And
like,
they all hit you at the same time? Yeah, you're fucked.
what the fuck? All of a sudden, everyone's got 10 heads, and it's like, I need to go home. I need to go home.
Well, I worked as a bartender when Jello shots became a thing.
I've actually never tried one of them.
Jello shots are the most dangerous fucking thing because
Yes,
do, like-
yes, they fucking are.
you don't taste the alcohol, right?
No.
And you get these fucking Riri idiots who do like 8 or 9 Jello shots and they're like, woo! And then the Jello, yeah, you, exactly. You're the guy, you're the fucking asshole, right? You get, then the Jello melts and the alcohol hits their system all at once. And they're either throwing up in the bathroom or passed out on my floor. And I'm like, mother.
Either of them. What happened to me is I was out with my sister, one of my best mates for school, and my other best mate, who we all met through me and my sister. Like, it was my sister's best pal, my best pal, and we had a group of us that all went about. And when we were like, I mean, when my sister and that were 18, so I was like 20, 21, we started having weekly nights in just the house. And my sister would make like Jello shots. She would make vodka gummy bears, which is basically you make a bowl of gummy bears, vodka in them, they absorb, and you eat them like sweeties, as you do. But it was the Jello shots, and we sat in the first 30 minutes, and we'd done about 6 or 7 Jello shots because we're like, it's not taking any effect. And then me and my pal went, right, we'll walk around to the shops and get more alcohol. And as soon as we walked outside and the air hit us, it was like, da, 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 da.
Yeah, that's the worst. Because you've been sat in that like stagnant air of everybody else's breathing, and you go outside that wind itch, you get that fresh air, and it's like, I'm going back to 1 minute.
You're right.
You go and shop on your own.
Yeah, it's the worst. Like, one of the things when I went to conventions and stuff, there was a shot that we do, and I think I talked about it on the podcast. There's a shot called Surfers on Acid. It's equal parts Chambord, Jägermeister, Malibu, and pineapple juice, right?
Pineapple juice.
Right. You don't taste.
You need flavour.
You do
That
like
makes it healthy.
you do 6 or 8 of those, and you're like, oh, I'm good. You step outside, and like somebody's waiting outside with a shovel, just whop.
Twang right around your face.
Well, that was like that Czech stuff that I had.
Right.
The plum liqueur. Like, I don't know if was it last week we were talking about it, or the week before? I got this, like, all I was over in Czech Republic. We were at one of the race weekends, and we went round, one of the fans was throwing like a wee barbecue for like some of the riders and their teams. So we went round there, and there's a tradition in the Czech that, see, if I was the host and I came up and offered you a drink, I would pour you a shot, then I would do a shot with you. But if I went to the next person and offered them a drink, I'd give them a shot and I'd do a shot with you. that was how the Czechs do their tradition, is they take a drink with everybody they give a drink to. So even though your company's only had 2 drinks, the guy that's pouring the drinks have ended up with 20 down.
Yeah, that was me.
Flying about. But it had this liqueur. It's this stuff right here.
Yeah, that was
a nice little
me in
collection
2000.
there, mate.
Slivovitch.
Yeah,
It's a
Slivovitch.
plum liqueur. And basically, how it works is you would drink it just as a shot and everything seemed fine. I went about 10, 11 shots down, did not feel a thing. Went over the case like 3 hours, just constantly thyming this. It was all fine. And then the mistake I made was drank a Carling.
Oh no!
It turns out that, see, this alcohol, as soon as you add anything else to it, any form of alcohol, blackout. I cannot remember the night. I can remember like the only bits I remember is being told what had happened. I just remember waking up the next morning to all these stories.
I actually only remembers the times like that. I only remember one time of getting blackout drunk, and I was in. I'm not going to say how old I was because
your reasons.
Yeah, but there was a party at my cousin's house, and obviously all the adults were drinking, and there was a can of Iron Brew actually, Iron Brew, and there was about this much Iron Brew in it, and the rest was vodka.
Oh no!
I necked the whole thing. The whole thing, I necked it all, and it wasn't no like nice. No, it was fucking Tipex or whatever the fuck's in it. It just smelled like fucking permanent marker. So yeah, about 20 minutes later, I remember the only thing I remember is my cousin had like a wooden fence, but it was like slotted panels, and it only had the bottom slot because it had all rotted away. And I went to jump over it, and my feet hit it, and I just went poof, just stopped in mid-air and just boom, and then I got took home on the back of a pedal bike. I'm like, Superman! All the way home and everything. Oh, shit. It was fucking mint. That was the only thing I remember. I wake up in the morning, my uncle's like, you never drink again. I'm like, what? I don't remember, still like all hungover and shit. And he goes, you was pissing and sick in the same bin. You went into your granddad's room going, Superman! And all this shit. Like, oh, God. Like, nah, no, not again. But yeah, then I still did it again the next weekend.
Yeah,
as you do.
And I did it again
For the United Kingdom, that's what we done.
Yeah, every weekend with your mates, you all put your £2.50 spends in, fucking bottle of Lambrina. It's like off you go. There's your night. So
I've always said that in the UK, it's the more north you go, the more alcohol is consumed in my mind. Until it gets to about the central belt of Scotland, and then it starts drifting away. Because when you think about it, if you think like the bottom coast of England and the southerners and that, they can drink, but they're weirdos when they drink. And then you start hitting the, like, say, Leicester and Manchester and Liverpool, and they get quite fucking drinky. And you hit Newcastle, they fucking know how to
what
drink.
The weird thing was, though, with all of us, we wasn't drinking no, like, high-end beer like your actual lag. Nah, we was on White Ace, White Lightning, anything to get you hammered. That was it. We was getting it. The cheapest stuff, that was the strongest stuff. Let's go. But Joanne is actually right there. I went fishing before I went to my nana's house, and then my uncle told me about me when I woke up about being Superman. Said to me, "Oh, we're going down to the pub." I was old enough to drink at this point by this time. He goes, "Oh, we're going down to the pub for a few beers." His mate come to my nana's house. We had a few vodkas and a few drinks at my nana's. Went down to the pub. I must have had another 5 pints there. I remember talking to someone in the beer garden about plastering. And halfway through the conversation, 10 heads happened. I was like, I need to go home. And I was like in my girlfriend's car for 5 hours, just hugging me fish and stuff. Just, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. No, it just all hit me at once. It's like, no, I can't move. You go inside, just lock the car and I'll stay here. She still stayed there with me, though. She stayed there with me the whole time till about 2 o'clock in the morning.
She's a keeper.
Like,
that's good. What have you got yourself in for, Joanne?
Yeah.
Like, what have you done?
We all feel sorry for Joanne, okay? Joanne gets enough condolences from us. We know.
Yeah, she's a good bean. She is, definitely.
Yeah, she's great. So, besides the drunken revelry and streaming, and fishing, what else is your jam, Monster? Like, what are
obviously fighting's something like not a hobby, but it's more of something that I do like to watch. But mainly, mate, my whole thing through my whole life has been gaming.
Yeah.
That's the thing that sort of took me away from past stuff and you know all that type of shit. It's gaming has always been the thing I've wanted to pursue. I've done 9 to 5s. I've worked factories. I've worked from 7 in the morning till 12 at night, and that just isn't me.
Right.
This is me.
Yeah.
This is where I thrive. This is like my sort of thing. But other than that, I'd probably say crafts like woodwork and all that type of stuff, like handy stuff, is where that's another stuff that I do like to do. Like,
Yeah.
it's nothing major, but like what these are on here.
Right.
Like this isn't attached to this, but like I made like all this type of stuff, and I've made quite a few different things. It's just nothing major, but I do like to tinker with stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was that bad when I was younger. My nana bought me a T-shirt, and it says, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." She'd always come into my bedroom and something was took apart. So yeah,
Yeah, my kid
You
takes shit
learn
apart
about
all the
stuff,
time.
though.
But
Like, how would you know
is-
how something works without taking it apart? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be done. But the probably the best thing that I ever did
Yeah,
was my
yeah,
Xbox back in the
Party,
day.
party,
It
party.
got the Ring
Best
of
day
Death,
ever. Party, party,
and I
party.
used to wrap
So
it up in
much
about
party,
6 towels
party,
and make it
party,
overheat
party till you drop.
just to make
Say
it
again.
work.
Yeah, yeah,
And I thought to myself, this can't be right. There's got to be something. Took it all apart, and I realised the motherboard was touching the heat shield at the bottom. So I got some spacers, put it around the motherboard and the finger, raised it up, worked fine, never overheated again, never got the Ring of Death.
yeah,
The...
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I was gonna agree with Whiskey Wolf. I can't take. I take shit up. I can take it apart. Can't put it back together. Nope.
I
don't
was
fuck
like
with
that
it.
until I realised you take a picture of like certain things you take apart and then or label it in bags or something, and then you know where it goes. Then
Yeah,
But-
I can't take shit apart because like I got most of I got one hand, so when I go to take shit apart, it takes 3 hours where it take an hour for everybody else. So I'm like, fuck it. Thank God Bernadette's like, I'll fix it all. I'm like, yep, you can have the wrench. I'll go
Yeah.
make dinner. You can have the wrench. Fuck it.
do you know that's actually one thing I actually can't wait for when you do come over here is to try your cooking.
Oh yeah, baby. Food
Like,
poisoning.
like on a serious level, I can't wait to try that cooking, man.
Dude, when we get over there, Chris and I are gonna like fucking throw down and see who's got better shit.
Oh, I'll be I'll be the party judge. I
Right?
won't be biased, I swear. I'll try it. I'm down.
I don't
to be
know.
honest, that was one thing that I wanted to actually do is try and like when you're finally over here, Docs, is try and get like there's places, especially up in Scotland, where you can book a house kind of thing for like 2 days, like
Yeah.
a full castle if you wanted to just get a big group of us all to fucking congregate in the one area, and we'll cook, we'll drink, and we'll game.
Fuck
There
yeah,
you go.
dude. That's the plan.
That sounds like the best thing ever. That
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So, Monster, you were talking about growing up as a gamer. Like what was it? What were you on when you were younger? Like what was your games and what was your genre?
oh mate, have you got enough hands here to count how many consoles I've had? Well, when I first ever started gaming, it was the Sega Mega Drive,
Yeah.
and I used to play like Sonic. I used to play. There was a Ghostbusters as well that was on it, and there was it. There was something else. I think Power Rangers was on it as well.
Mm.
There was a Power Ranger game on it, and it was but my uncle bought me a Chinese like cartridge. It was massive, like the size of the console. It was huge. And you used to slot it where the games used to slot in. Then you could play Japanese style games and all that stuff that you couldn't get in the UK. So we used to get all over games ported over. I used to play them all on there, but the most time I'd say the best time gaming was PS2 and PS1 days when I used to play on like Crash Bandicoots, obviously Spyros, all the old Spider-Mans like Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Mm.
I used to play the wrestling games because I was heavily into wrestling when I was
Yeah,
younger.
who didn't play the wrestling games
Yeah.
back in the
Mate,
day?
I
Those were
loved
fun,
them, I
man.
loved them. Yeah,
I
loved
still
them.
play them. I still have this thing where I just, even though I'm no an avid watcher of the wrestling anymore, I still every year need to get the wrestling games to play through the season and all that, just because
Yeah.
it's like I've got everything since a way back when you used to have the N64 No Mercy games and no
Yes.
way out and stuff.
For now,
But,
they were
like,
gaming
I've-
days.
Yeah, like I've
I had
literally got
the
everything
Pokemon
up in a
Edition
box.
one. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Because
Mhm.
Pokemon, that's probably been like, apart from Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat and Pokemon have been my two main staple games that I have played all of them. Every single one, I've played them all.
Mm.
And back on the N64, there was one called Pokemon Snaps, and you were just in a little cart going around taking picture of fucking Pokemon all day. It was sick. It
I'm
was so
glad
simple.
you
It
brought
was
that
so
up.
good.
Have you seen that they're making a
Apparently so,
reimagination
yeah.
of it?
And I get it. I do what I get it.
I'm
I
getting
really
it.
do.
I don't care how much or what platform. If I need to go and buy an Xbox, I'll go and buy a fucking Xbox.
I think they're only doing
I
it for
want
the
to
Twitch,
play
you
it.
know.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're doing it
it's a
for.
Well,
Switch
I guess
exclusive.
I'm buying a Switch. Oh,
It's
well.
like, I've even got little
Whiskey,
Pokemon.
that is exactly N64 James Bond GoldenEye.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
no.
Wait. Before we start, I got a bone to pick with fucking GoldenEye. Okay, I
Here we
love,
go.
Oh, here we go.
I love GoldenEye. I loved it. I played it back in the day with all my friends. But GoldenEye is the bane because GoldenEye spawned all these fucking FPS games, and 90% of these FPS games are shit. But they're like they're the only thing that people play. FPS dominates like the charts.
Yep,
and
everything.
most of it is
Do you know
fucking
what, though?
trash, and it's
I know
all
we're playing a lot of
GoldenEye's
them.
fault.
Do you know what though, right? I do love me FPS games, but believe it or not, I'm more of an MMORPG type of person. It's just I haven't found one yet since DC Universe Online or Final Fantasy Online. That's
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
sucked me in. They're the only ones, and if I was to go and try one like that Order of the Republic, I'll be so far behind.
Nah,
It took me fucking years to get to where I need to be.
only 100
Do you know what I
hours.
mean? So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
What
do.
my problem is I've got ADHD, so it needs to be really fucking good to keep my attention for more than 20 minutes. And trying to find a game that kind of grabs my attention. The likes of like that Oddworld Soulstorm, that has been like, I can't wait to the
Now
morning to
that
be able to play
I used
that
to play
again.
that on
Like,
the PS1.
Yeah.
It was called Abe's Odyssey, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
that was all it was called. You used to go around farting and burping, and you had the little weird. They were all like folded over the snappy mouths, and they were all black and white,
Yeah.
pretty much. I love
So,
that game.
Chris, you played Soulstorm on stream. How is that working out so far? I was only able to catch out a little bit of your stream of it. Like, how is it?
It's so fucking good.
I
Like,
told
played,
you.
like, this is how you can, like, it's I don't want it to sound as if I am the lord of all games, and unless it appeases my attention, then it's a shit game. But I played it for, I think I streamed for something like 3.5 hours. That's how much I was, and the only reason I stopped was because it was like 2 a.m. and I had work the next day. So I was like, I need to stop.
You need to
Otherwise, I
stop.
would have just kept on going. It has been, and obviously the last week I've been working. Tonight I'm going to try and play Mirror Visage because, well, I need to keep going with that. But tomorrow night I think I'm going to have Oddworld again because it's just such, like, the storyline and the puzzles and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do like the puzzles. The things that get your brain
so good.
ticking and working is. That's
Well, I think that's why Visage keeps pulling me back, is because as much as I absolutely fucking hate it because I cannot do fucking horror games, it's the puzzles and the trying to work out things. But the thing with Visage is it keeps you going, because I was trying to explain to my sister, because she likes the horror games. I was the likes of like Evil Inside that I played, it was just every now and again, it was just a jump scare, and then nothing.
Right.
You went run, then you got a jump scare, went run, jump scare. Whereas Visage is like a consistent fear-inducing game where there's sometimes you'll walk around and nothing will happen, and then you'll walk in a door and it'll give you a jump scare. And then for the rest of the game, you cannot walk around doors the way you were. You're always peering around doors, and it'll never scare you again. They'll never have it, and it'll jump out of a door. But the chest of drawers that you'd been opening to get your flashlight out of, had they been doing it, but all of a sudden it now sparks and triggers a fucking jump scare that means that you can't look in drawers without fucking. So when you're 2 or 3 hours in, you're sitting terrified of flicking on lights and walking along corridors and that, because
it's like just, you hear something in your headset and you're like,
exactly. That's what it is now. And they have this thing where obviously, like, there's paranormal activity that happens. So, like, light switches will get turned off. So you'll be walking along, and a room that you're not even in, you'll just hear the click, a light switch and you go, oh fuck, shit's
You know
going
what?
down.
You're probably
Oh no.
like phasmophobia for that type of stuff. You know, that's a horror game, but it's not like puzzle or anything. It's more trying to figure out the what type
Yeah.
of ghost you're dealing with. But I don't know if you've seen me play, but you've got certain items like your EMF and stuff like that. You got to go around all like schools and prisons and all sorts to try and
Yeah.
find this ghost. But the thing is, it's voice recognition. So when you speak to it, it'll reply back
Right.
to you type stuff. That's the thing that's so appealing with it. So you'd be like, give us a sign. Then all of a sudden, like a fucking can of beer gets dashed at you, or a light gets switched on somewhere, or something like. It's a pretty good game, man. It's just it's a hell of a lot funner. Like, say if you've got a full party of 4 to play it, so then
Yeah.
the banter between you all. If you've got somebody that's not really scared, and the rest of 3 of yous are, and he's just pissing himself because you're running around, he's chasing me type shit. Yeah, it can be a fun game. That it definitely can be.
Yeah. Well, me and Dox played that. I mean, when it first kind of boomed, me
Yeah.
and Dox gave it a go with Rins, but my computer just the running it was just shocking. I think
Yeah.
Dox was the same.
Yeah, my
And
rig was trash.
It's something that I would like because I like that sort of stuff. It's just at the moment my PC just would not run it. That's why I'm streaming through the PS5. But like you were saying, when you've got that was why I was streaming the horror game, is because see if I was playing it myself, I wouldn't play it. It's just no my thing.
Yeah.
But see streaming it and having people in chat, that's the sort of.
That's definitely.
It just gives you that sort of the sense of confidence, like
Yeah,
I'm not alone here.
It's like I'm not the only one. I might be the only one that's fucking scared, but I know there's somebody on the end of that chat that's going to be able to support me if I need it.
Exactly, that's it. And to be honest, it has been really good because, like, there's been bits where, like, when I'm fucking scared, logic goes out the window, and there's been so many times where I've been sitting there going, I just don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. And people in chat have kind of, like, they've sort of guided me, not necessarily spoiled it and told me what I was to do. They sort of were giving you the have you been down in this room yet?
Yeah.
And you'd wander down and you'd have a look about, then you would uncover and stuff. Like they've been fantastic in that sense that they've not been ruining it.
Backseat gaming, but a good sort of backseat gaming, not the ones ready to spoil it.
Yeah, because that's not what I want. Like, I don't want a walkthrough. I don't want you telling me. I want to still be having the adventure, trying to find shit.
That actually was the same for me with Outlast, sorry. When I played Outlast, there was a few bits on it where it's like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? I don't want to move anywhere. I'm too scared to move. And then people are like, oh, just try and maneuver that way and try and figure out from that way, have you been down this way yet, or have you gone that way yet? And then it's like you go down that way and you figure out another path and it's like, it's that way, but then you get jump scared 2 seconds later. It's like, I'm not moving. Like you've got your mouse in your hand
because I had that a couple of days because there was one thing where you're in a room and there's like 3 spaces for photos and you have to put up the order of the photos to unlock a door, but you learn the pattern by in another room. If you lifted off one of the 74 photo frames off the wall, there was a peephole that you looked through and it showed you what the photos were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So without knowing that information, like I was going to go and look through every fucking photo in that wall. Like
if that was me, I'd have just been switching the photos around until I actually just accidentally got it right.
No, but there was 3 photo spaces and like 17 different photos that could be.
Fair enough.
So you'd have been sitting there for a good solid 14 hours trying to figure out the many combinations that could have been. So like those kind of like backseat gaming kind of like that's all right in my eyes.
Yeah,
like, if you've got like only if it's kind of like because I was like I don't know what I have to do here, and they were kind of why don't you? So it was less of like just being told. Like if I was sitting doing it and I was doing okay, and somebody was doing it, you'd be like, well, fuck off. But I'm sitting there for 20 minutes just wandering around the same things, just going, I don't know how to continue this story. So
it is definitely helped when you got that little bit of help there. Definitely. Especially with a horror game as well, because you're so anticipating to go around the next corner or to go in that next door. It's like, I know I've got to open this fucking door, but what's going to be on the other side of this door? Because nothing was on the other side of the other door, so it's got to be this one. Then you open, there's nothing there, and then you open a drawer, and you fucking nearly fall off your chair and shit.
That's Visage.
Yeah, so that's seeing as how we're talking about streaming and gaming, I wanna pose a couple questions to the both of you. Monster, what's been the best part of Twitch streaming for you? And like Chris, obviously you're new to it, but you can
For
chime in
me,
as well.
it's been a confidence booster and the support. I don't mean subs and bits,
Right.
none of that. I mean the support of the people when I've had my down days or something that's quite not going around on a game that's pissing me off, and people lift your spirits up and shit. That's to me is what streaming's about. Is when you've got that little community base, and no matter what you do or if you crap at a game, they're still there and they're like, "Oh, go on, just keep going, keep trying. You're gonna get better." Do you know what I mean? It gives you that little motivation boost where I've never really had motivation in my life. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's depression that gives me no motivation, or as soon as that one thing goes wrong, it's like I can't be bothered now. So I don't even want to play it. But then when you get that confidence boost from people and you've got people saying nice things, it's like I can do this. Fuck it, I'm doing this shit. Fucking, I'm getting this, and then. But I'd probably say it's the love of the community that's been the best part of streaming for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Chris?
To be honest, well, I've done 3 streams, so
Well, yeah, but your perspective.
I've not really hit the highlight yet. But like I've watched or I've been on Twitch since, or I say I've been on Twitch since like when it was Justin TV. That's how long I've been on Twitch. But I've no became a proper viewer of Twitch until like July, August last year, which is hilarious to think that I was on Twitch for 2 weeks when the streamer that I'd went on Twitch to watch raided Titan Naughty, who 4 days later raided Dox, who a few days later raided Monster. So within like 4 weeks, I had been sent through.
You got like quite a few communities that you grew a part of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
do you know what? That's what happened with me with Silver Studios. It's like I wouldn't know Doc if it wasn't for Silver Studios, and I started playing Tarkov, and I was just looking at Tarkov streamers, and I come across him, and I was thinking about starting streaming, and I'd seen him talk. I didn't say anything in his chat for a few days. I was just lurking, and I noticed him helping a lot of people, so I built up the confidence. So I was like, right, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah, go for it. And he said to me there, he said, what are you thinking on doing? And after I said, like, I'm going to start streaming, what do you think I should do? I've got this rig, this internet. Because I knew nothing, like nothing at all. He's like, yeah, that'll be perfectly fine. Just go and do it. And just try it. Just go and do it and try it. You never know. I didn't have a camera, nothing. It was just an overlay and me playing Tarkov. That is it. And he ended up raiding me that first ever stream. And Dox will tell you Silver was pretty good. He was always having like 40, 20, 40, 30 viewers. And I just broke down crying. I didn't expect it at all because the humbleness that hits you from when people, from like the connections that you make and the nice people that you meet. And then like you did, Chris, where you met me, then you met Titan. And the connections that you get are unreal. And it's like Davlar as well. I met Davlar through Silver Studios. Sean Trevor, met him through Silver Studios. And the best thing about it is I'm not part of like one specific game community. We're all different games where some might be Valorant, some might be Tarkov, some might be COD, Apex, tabletop games, or just chatting. And they've all accepted, not me, but do you know what I mean? They've accepted you for who you are, and you still come in TikTok if you don't like your shit.
They've accepted you.
At the end of the day, we're all gamers, so it's like it doesn't matter what game you play. It's still the understanding that we've all, like, most of the time is the people that are on Twitch. I say the people that are on Twitch, the people that stream on Twitch, because there's a lot of Twitch chat that will know the same. Everybody sort of came through similar paths to get to that stage. Like, there might be the odd few that have came through knowing that's what they wanted to do, and they've had the energy and the confidence and that be able to just batter through. But when it comes to the kind of, like, for me, it was Dox and Titan that were just constantly, not so much in my ear. Like they never ever were like, "Oh, you should stream, you should stream, you should stream."
No.
Like
But
just
it
a
was
forcey
just
type
there
thing.
was just a constant kind of, "Oh, you would be good at it" and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And that was the
That
reason.
does
I
give you
mean,
that confidence, though. That's what you need if you haven't got it.
yeah,
And it could
and
push you, and you never know. You could be the next Tim the Tatman type thing. Do you know what I mean? You don't know until you try. So, and this is what I get. I get this a lot in the stream. People are like, how have you only been streaming this long and you're averaging like 10 to 20 people? It's like, for one, you've got to have some sort of reason, whether it's entertainment, good at a game, or you just a genuinely nice person
Personality.
and people believe in what you're saying. Because,
Yeah.
like, say I come into your stream, right? Or you're lurking in somebody's stream and you're just lurking for a bit, you're like, I'll check these out, see what they're like. And they're just playing on the game. Then as soon as somebody spends money, it's like, oh, hello, thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Do you know what I mean? You notice that fake shit. But when somebody's even talking, when you've got nobody there, like for me, you've got to act like there's 1,000 people there, whether it's you or you've got to, do you know what I mean? You've always got to be giving somebody something. Whether you're just chatting a load of fucking nonsense about the game that you're playing, as long as you're giving something to them to come back, whether it's you're sharing your life stories with their life stories or your gaming passion with their game. It don't even have to be gaming. It could be like fishing or car mechanic. It could be anything. As long as you're giving them some sort of reason to want to invest their time into you, that's what you need. If you haven't got that, you can't expect somebody to come and click that follow button, because if you're watching a TV program and the first 10 minutes you're like, this is fucking boring, this, you're going to switch over. Twitch is exactly the same. If you're not got that entertainment for that first 5 minutes when they've got off that advert, or if there wasn't an advert, think like next streamer, I'll go to the next one.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody, but there's always going to be somebody that likes you for who you are. There's no point trying to be something you're not. And you can see it.
Well, you hit it. You made a great point. The both of you have, like, when it comes to streaming, like, there's only a couple things you can do to maintain somebody's interest. You either got to be really good at a game. You have to either be so bad at a game it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Or you have to
That's
have
me.
Yeah, me too. Or you gotta have some type of personality for the person to latch onto. So for me, I do so much weird shit on Twitch that like video gaming is like a third, like not even a third of my content, because with me, I do like the podcast on Twitch.
I'm going to dark, Rick. His voice goes bad 1 sec. Sorry.
All right, no worries. I do like the tabletop RPGs, I do podcasting, I do voice work, and then I do the just chatting. And like a lot of the times when people come in to my channel, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" And to me, that's a testament, because ultimately, in my opinion, if you can get the people on Twitch to invest in you and not necessarily the game or what you're doing, that means you'll build that genuine connection with them. So that's how I maintain a lot of my viewership, is through that connection of my personality and my energy, not so much what I'm doing. And the other thing too is I say this to a lot of people all the time. I look at myself as a Twitch streamer sort of like the digital bartender. And what I mean by that is whatever I'm doing is the drink you're being served. And it's incumbent on me to know who you are, where you come from, and what story you shared with me, so that when you could come in, I can say, oh, it's Chris. He's up in where he is, and he likes to do this, that, and the other thing. So that when you come in, there's a sense of familiarity from me to you. It's not necessarily like we're boys or we're friends, but I know you and I know your story, and I'm here to hang and give you my ear and whatnot. But then you make genuine connections like I have with you and I have with Chris. Like, I've known Chris, 6 months, Chris?
Yeah, something like that. I actually had just celebrated 7 months.
If I never knew none of yous and I just randomly stumbled across your stream, you'd act like you've known each other for 10 years,
That's
20
the
years,
weird
or something
thing.
like that. Do you know what I mean? And that's the good thing. That is a good thing to have, because you don't normally get friendships that happen like that. Normally that takes years and years of building up, knowing each other, going through some shit. Do you know what I mean? To get that friendship, but yous have got that instant connection, which is a good thing. Considering you only met on Twitch 6 months ago, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and we're already doing a podcast, and the podcast is doing gangbusters for where we're at.
this is what I'm saying. Though, like, used to together, even if you did co-streaming or if you could work some sort of way out like that, you both could kill it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like a duet
Yeah.
type thing. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah,
It'd be amazing.
but even
I know.
look at your case and mine, Monster. Like we've known each other like 8 months. I've only known you like 2,
Yeah,
3
something
months
like that.
longer. And like within the first 2 months, we were like, "Hey man, what do you want to do?" And we started projects together. Like
Mhm.
I do
Yeah.
Marvin for you. So
Yeah.
like we said, there's when you bounce through communities that are genuine. Sorry, Hendo, I don't accept hyperlinks. You can send the link to Tim, and Tim will check it, and if it's good, Tim can post it for you. But yeah, like through the communities that we've all kind of bounced through, like Monster, you found Silver, who I do a shit ton of work for. I've known Drew for almost 2 years now, and I voice his mascot. And I think you were telling me that you loved how
Yeah, it was. Do you know
yeah,
what it was? As soon as I come into it, I was there. I was probably there before even fucking Silver was most of the time, just waiting for it to start streaming. And as soon as it come on, the bone stab straight away. Bone stab straight away. I fucking loved it. Loved it, man. It's the best thing ever. And I was like, I said to him, I said, "Did you do all this?" And he's like, "No, there's a link in my thing there." And then I think that exact stream you come in.
yeah, I
I
dropped
was like,
in.
"Oh, there he is. This is Dox, right?" So yeah, then I followed you from there, and yeah, we've been good friends since, and never look back, mate. Never look back ever. It's been a journey. Put it that way. It's been a fucking journey, mate.
Yeah, and I guess that speaks to like what we were talking about. The best part of Twitch is sort of that community aspect. If you can build a genuine connection with a community, if you get genuine real people, because everybody gets shit trolls all the time. Everybody gets trolls coming in, and we all know the trolls game. They try to get you to say something dumb, or they try to get you to. And I'm going to use Hendo as an example, even though Hendo wasn't doing anything wrong. They try to get you to they try to get you to post these, look at these links on stream, and their whole game is to catch you and report you. Yeah, but Tim, you're a good kind of troll. We're talking about the shit posting trolls whose whole life is to get you like banned. So
Like, I had someone actually come into my stream the other
That's
day,
Hendo.
and he
Hendo's
said
my
to me
boss man.
there,
So just
it was called.
he
I'll
is
put
trying
you
to
on
get
the, I think his name was "I'll put you on the list" or something. So I greeted to him like, "Hi, how you doing? How have you been? How's your day's been?" And he goes, "Show me your search history. If you don't, I'm gonna put you on the list." Like meaning, I don't really want to say the word, but like,
the ban list or whatever.
no, like,
Oh, he
the
was trying to
certain
blackmail
vendors
you.
alert list type thing.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? And saying that I've been watching this, that, and the other. So I was like, how could you say I've got a 3-year-old daughter? What do you mean? So we just ended up banning him out the chat. I've had people come in my chat and say I look like a crackhead and all this shit, but it's very rare. It is very rare that does happen. And when it does, just get banned straight away anyway, because I'm not about that shit. I don't.
but I guess that's the
I don't
question.
the way I fucking look.
Is that the worst part of Twitch? Is the fucking gotcha trolls, or what do you think the worst part of Twitch is?
The discoverability. I can deal with the trolls.
Mm.
For me, it's Twitch doing nothing for us, Lowen, like nothing. This is what a lot of streamers don't understand. They'll think, oh, we'll just click this live button. I'm going to get viewers. Sorry to say, mate, 3% is streaming. The 97% is doing what we're doing now.
Facts.
Getting in with new communities, posting on your Twitter, your Discord, wherever the fuck you're posting. If you think pressing that live button's going to get you viewers, yeah, it might. But your growth is going to be so slow. If you want it as a business, if you're doing it for fun, just go and hit the live button. Go and fucking do it. But if you're trying to make some sort of branding or something out of it, you need to put time in. I have spent more time in other people's chats than I have my own.
Yep.
So
yeah.
And then you see it though, because people be like, this shit ain't working. This is crap. This streaming. I'm not getting no viewers. Well, what are you doing to get viewers in? I'm streaming.
Mm. Yeah.
There's your first mistake straight away.
Yeah. It's I would agree. Discoverability.
Unless you've got a big following somewhere else, you've got a slim chance of getting that following on Twitch. Unless you do it yourself.
Yeah, but even then, like discoverability is a problem because and it's not necessarily Twitch's fault, but I think in some ways they could help it. Because you're right. If all you want to do is stream, just hit the live button. That's fine. But if you want to do what we're doing right now, building a brand and trying to make let's be fair to everybody in chat. all of us here, except for Chris when he streams, is basically doing it for fun right now. You and I, Monster, this is a business. This is what we're doing. We're trying to make something out of this. And Chris and I are trying to make the podcast into its own thing. But like the discoverability, like there's so much time where I've had to be on Twitter or I've had to be on Instagram or I've had to be on Discord or in other people's chats just trying to like get my name out there. And then the whole chat etiquette too. Like I cannot stand people when they don't follow etiquette in chat. Like if you're a streamer, in my opinion, and you go to someone else's stream, don't immediately be like, hey, I'm a streamer. Talk to them, be a part of their stream, and then let them be like, well, are you a
You want to be a part of the community before you let them know what you're doing.
Right, because then you're just trying to poach like a bitch. And
I know
likes
I've
poaching.
had that plenty of times, mate, and I still get it to this day from the same people. But because we're the influencer, if we start trying to put them on blast, all it takes for them to press that report button, game over for us.
So yeah, it's very much a tightrope to walk between being polite to chat.
I am a streamer.
Fuck you, Endo. But that's the thing is like the discoverability and trying to figure out how to get your name out there. Discoverability is 5 years too late. Yeah, I know what you mean there. But I think that is a huge problem because knowing when to promote your stuff and knowing how to which leads into another question I have for you, Monster. Knowing when to balance everything between on camera, off camera, and life stuff. That right there, for me personally, that's a nightmare because not only am I working a 45-hour a week day job, I stream upwards of 30 hours a week, and then I do 30 hours a week off camera. So like,
this is why I call you the legend, because there's not many people that'll do that. You're supporting a family, you're trying to make your Twitch work while running a job. I don't know how many kids you've got, but looking after your kids, your missus, the dog. You've still got to take that dog for a walk. You've still got to look after them kids, make sure them kids are safe. Got the clothes, the food in, the housing, everything like that. Do you know what I mean? As well as putting extra time in to be able to grow your Twitch and just to try and get one follow a day.
Yep.
Because for me, one follow a day is a good thing.
The good thing with Dox, but is he's just a security guard, so it's like it's those difference. Like that really doesn't count. If like
the shade today, the shade.
But I do get where you're coming from though. For like my time management, Joanna will tell you, I have sacrificed a lot. Like I don't work. I just can't because Joanne works in the morning. I take my daughter to school, and by the time Joanne comes home, we got to go and pick the daughter up. So I'd only have that little 4-hour gap where I'm on my own. I've got nobody when she's in school, so I could work that time. But then to me, it's like if I go out and do a work, I might be getting money for it, but that 4 hours could be spent trying to grow my Twitch, which I'm more passionate about than I am a 9 to 5. Where Joanne will tell you, I'll show you how many fucking hours I've spent in this bastard chair. I had to buy a fucking cushion for it because it's uncomfortable. But I have spent many fucking hours, days, weeks in this fucking chair trying to enhance my stream, connect with people, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, everything. I've tried anything and everything apart from embedding my stream. That's one thing I'll never fucking do.
Yeah.
Like putting it on like fucking Reddit or some shit and you're getting like 150 fucking views every 2 seconds but you've got 2 people in your fucking chat feed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that like it's not illegal or anything like that, but trying to do it legitimately is a lot harder. It's
I think
the
it's
real
also
interaction.
What's up, Chris?
I think it also does the help that the market is very, very saturated.
Yep.
Like touching on what Darvla said is in this day and age, there's so many streamers now that see it that they want to be on the level of the likes of your Tim the Tap Man and stuff like that.
Because you see all these donations and it's like, I can do that. Oh, he's only playing it. I can do that.
They're seeing it themselves of if they started 10 years ago, there's a good chance they would be at that level, but they're wanting to start now seeing that and be at that level, which is how it works. I mean, there's the odd story that someone just happened to start streaming, one of their video went viral within a couple of months, and they've just hit the high line. But for most people, that's not how it goes. And I think what the problem is, and we talked about this a couple of episodes ago, is people talk about Twitch as if it's this almighty god of work where you get paid to play video games and you go to parties, you get this, you get that, but nobody talks about the shitty bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yeah, nobody talks about the actual dirty grinding that you've got to do when you're sat here. I could be going spending time with my family in there, but no, I'm sat here dedicating my time and my life to try and make this actually work. I'm not asked about. I genuinely don't care about the money. Like I really don't. I don't have money. I've never have, and I probably never will in life. But do you know what I mean? For me, to say I've dedicated my whole existence to do this, and then make it. Whether I've got 100 viewers and I'm still not getting paid at the end of the month, I don't care. I just want to be able to say, yeah, I made it as a streamer or something in gaming, whether it's developing a game, having ideas on it. I wouldn't even care, just something in gaming I've always wanted to do. And that sparked from Black Ops 1 when I watched the first ever COD Champs on Black Ops 1 and I watched it streamed live. And it's like, I want to do this. Whether it's competitive, making a game or streaming or something, I want to do it. I just never had the confidence or the appliances to do it at the time until now.
Yeah, and like what Chris, like what we've been talking about, and what everybody like Darveless media is a huge problem for us. Well, because the media perception and the general public perception of streamers is oh, you're just playing video games to get paid. That's not the reality. Like I can talk to a bunch of people and they're like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm an online entertainer. I do streaming on Twitch. And they're like, oh, so what's that? And then you explain it to them and they're like, oh, you just play video games. It's like, no.
No, it's funny you say that. I've actually had like a few builders come round when they're fixing a boiler or, I don't know, something wrong with the house. And they see the setup as soon as you walk through the door. Are you doing YouTube? No, I do Twitch. I do Twitch, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty good, Dad." You know, I've had a few people. It's like, keep going. I've had like a few friends. Oh, actually, come to think of it, while we're on the fucking podcast, I make sure no nipples slip out. But when you was watching, buy it.
There it is. But
there you go.
A shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I appreciate it.
To yourself.
That's Dox's merch, by the way.
But actually, that's a great. That's not only a great plug, and I love you for it, but that's another thing with streaming. Is you gotta fucking have a brand. You gotta spend time with merch. Like
I'll show you. Open up this door.
I spend so much time.
Speaking of merch,
I spend so much time. Yeah, that's dope. I love that too.
It's self-promotion.
You just
no, that was the studios. That was.
No, that was Silver.
My
that
merch
was
is
Silver's
upstairs
merch.
somewhere in the drawer.
But that's the thing is like I spend so much time sitting and thinking about the brand, about what the next design is, what the next overlay design is, what the next emote design is.
I've actually just changed my overlays. I've changed my overlays more than changed my boxes.
but then I also, after I get an idea, I have to interview artists like on Fiverr or through Twitter. It's like, and then it's like I've literally, the new t-shirt design I'm working on, I have talked to like 40 different artists, and it's like, are you shitting me? Like, just that alone has been hours of time off camera.
Like for me, this is how obsessed I am with this, what I'm doing right now. Joanne will tell you, from the minute I wake up to the moment I am going, even in my dreams, I'm still thinking about it. What can I do to make it more entertaining? What can I do to make somebody, give them a reason to want to come back? And that's where the Bean Boozles come from. The California Reaper came from. Waxing my leg. I've even still got wax strips here. That if anyone said to me, have you got anything that you want to do? I've got 6 wax strips under here still.
Right.
But yeah, I've got wax strips. Name your price.
I just want to personally apologise for your Bean Boozled and Carolina Reaper, because I'm pretty sure I funded a good 30 or between 50 and 70% of that.
Mate, I've even still got some there.
Oh, no.
How much?
So I gotta.
How much to eat one of them on this podcast?
Oh God, there ain't enough to get him to eat one on this podcast. He'd be dead. We got half a podcast to go.
It's £100, and that's what it cost to do this last time. Oh, mate, do you know what the worst thing was? The taste.
Yeah.
They don't taste nice.
No.
And then the heat. They're not good. They smell like I'm shaking now, thinking I'm going to eat them.
You're right. They smell like death.
Like the bad, the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah.
I'd do it again. It's entertainment. Do you know what I mean? You've always got to have that something, whether it's someone, even if it's just a channel point, it's nothing to do with money. You could, do you know, anything. And
Yeah.
I've got plenty of stuff here that I've had from streaming when I've done I've even this is still full of fucking flour from when I was pieing myself in the face, flour bombing myself, egging myself. You've always got to have that little edge over everybody else. But the thing that makes me laugh is when I don't mind people taking ideas and making it into their own, but then people take your full idea, try doing it, it doesn't succeed, but then they're moaning at you.
Yeah. So here's a question: where's the line? Like we say we try to do stuff to make people come back. Like we think of ideas. Like with me, I try to provide value to the channel through rewards and
that's what I mean. That's your.
But where's the line though? Like where do you draw the line trying to get somebody? Because I've seen some younger streamers do some really fucking stupid shit, and I'm like, if you got to go to that extreme, is it really worth it?
Yeah, this is not your forte. If you're
Yeah,
having to jump off buildings and break your legs to get people to come back. Like, my line is horror games. I've hit my line. That's it. That's as far through as I'm going, and I'm doing it for free, like a stupid fucking idiot.
That's another type of entertainment. Wherever you watching somebody get fear for the life, even though they're only playing a game, is entertainment to people. Where, for me, seeing people suffer. For me though, probably the worst I'd go for is like shaving my beard off or something. That's the end line for me. Because it took me fucking 29, 28. I don't know, I'm fucking old.
2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks
to grow this. And if someone says to me, "I'll give you £100 now, you shave it off," it's like, well, I don't have £100. Give me the fucking clippers. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's as well. Like, there's a couple of streamers that I've went across, and they've got like channel points, but it's like shave their beard off, and it's like 500,000 channel points. That means you have to have been there for a good year and collected all your points to be able to do it. Like, that's the kind of level where
definitely.
I would say the line has to be that
I would
you
say
can still happily go on with it. Like, if it's going to cause you like discomfort, not in a physical way, but discomfort mentally, where you start questioning where you can go back on stream. I think that's where, like, everybody's line is different. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I think that's what you have to go, because at the same time, as much as you want to be entertaining, you want to have that sort of chat involvement. At the same time, you don't want your life or anything, your decisions to be
I'd probably say that is a big factor in it. Definitely. As long as you're comfortable and happy with the outcome, and you're not going to be too self-conscious on whatever it may be. I could probably get my leg out. It's still fucking bald from when I did my birthday stream. What? I still got bald bits.
It is. It's totally bald.
Look, still bald, but I don't mind. It was fun. I had that was the best birthday I've ever had in my whole life, ever, and it was my first birthday on stream. So, as long as you're happy with what your outcome is, whether it's you've shaved your beard off or you've gone like a complete full egg, all hair removed, even eyebrows, as long as you're happy with the outcome, that's the main thing. But if you're going to be self-conscious afterwards, I'd cut the line there, and it's like, nah, fuck, I'm not doing that. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, as long as you're happy, and it's having that community though to start that type of stuff. Because if you haven't really got a community to start with, you pretty much got it there for no reason. You're going to set yourself up for disappointment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I've always said, when I said that and we're streaming, we're talking about things like, as much as I'm not a streamer, I would never consider myself a streamer. No, because I think it's a shitty
You are now.
fucking
You're part
thing.
of the family now, bro.
But-
You've had 3 streams. There's the start.
But my take always was that your first and foremost thing has to be your content. Like, I know overlays and the
Oh,
all
yeah,
that
fuck
kind of
no.
stuff is
Yeah.
important, but what good is spending 150 quid on overlays and artwork and that, going and getting all these challenges and stuff sorted up? If I walk into your stream and I'm not enjoying what's on stream, I'm not going to sit and watch
Yeah,
you
definitely.
eat bamboozled and go like I've never walked into a stream and go, fuck, his camera looks fantastic. I've never done that, like, personally. There
Like
might
for
be
me, I'd
people
probably
out
say
there.
audio. If their audio's bad, I can't sit and listen
Yeah.
to that. But cameras, overlays, fucking all these
Yeah.
big fancy fucking images that come up on your screen when you press a certain button or a fart noise. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it might appeal to some people, but that doesn't define you. That's not making you be a good streamer. What makes you being a good streamer is whether you're going to entertain the people, you're going to give them people, whether it's a safe haven mental health wise, or you share like a same type of interest or a love for something, then people are going to come and enjoy your streams because they know you like this, that, and this. They know more about you than probably you do yourself because you've told them, which is a good thing.
Yeah, that's one of the tricky things for me because a lot of people that I deal with on Twitch are like, you don't do the normal Twitch stuff, because for my content is very much all over the place, and like we were saying earlier, not a lot of it is gaming. Like, I do the RPGs, and then I do a lot of voice work on stream, and I have a lot of weird stuff. I do like cooking battles with my daughter. So like,
Yeah, good.
if you look at me as like a streamer, I don't my content isn't in that typical streamer genre where it's dominated by like AAA gaming and like first person shooters. So for somebody like me, my growth is naturally slower because I'm so out in left field where like you have to really go looking to kind of stumble across my
It's
shit
like
sometimes.
people don't really search for because they always want COD or they want your Apexes and your fucking League of Legends and Valorant.
And I do a
Well,
lot
I
of
know
indie
you
shit
play
too.
Apex a lot, but I've only started going and playing AAA games again because of the fact of I've got that little community base now, so it's going to edge me up that list a little bit better than the people on, nothing against it, but 2-3 viewers. They're going to be right down at the bottom, and people have got to scroll up 75,000 times just to find you, if they find you. Whereas if you go and play a smaller game, not like something that's completely got like fucking 3 streamers in it, but it's got like, I don't know, 100 streamers in it, and it's got 400 viewers, you've got more chance of being found on there than what you do playing a big AAA game, which is a lot of small streamers' downfall. Like, oh, I'm going to go and stream Warzone, and I'm going to be the next big Warzone streamer. Yeah, that's potentially true.
Right.
But you need to build that foundation to then grow that foundation to a fucking building, an empire. If you haven't got that foundation, it's just going to sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think... Go ahead.
From what I've heard and seen with Twitch is, if you come into Twitch with expectation, you're setting yourself up for disappointment because, like you said, you go into like even like a Just Chatting that has like what 300,000 viewers on it, and then like Call of Duty or Apex and that you're talking like 60,000-70,000. GTA is getting quite a lot recently because of that.
Streamers streaming it. Do you know?
But I think what the problem is you see that and you're thinking, like, it's an oversaturated market, everybody's playing it, you're not going to get seen. But at the same time, if you go into one of the smaller sections, like a game that's not being played as much, there's a reason why only 400 people are watching that, is because everybody else is away watching that. I think the problem with, like, say, Twitch and that these days is that too many people are already...
They've always set it stone in it that they're going to be the next big thing on this game.
Well,
when there's already somebody at that top spot, and they're there for that reason.
I think that's what it is that you've already got these people that are...
And it's money motivated.
They are on the top spot. Everybody's away watching the top spot. With Like 10 years ago, there was more people that would jump about, but now people go on because they want to watch the one streamer at the one time playing one game because they have it on in the background, they're studying, they're doing this, they're doing that. So I think we've hit a point where
Pick up all the lurkers.
if you're trying to be on Twitch to work for Twitch and do this as a job, it's 40, 50, 60 times harder to make it work
It is. It
than
really
what
is.
it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's
I've
just
seen
how
it as
I
like,
see it.
you see it as well. It's like trying to start any sort of business, whether it's a shop, I don't know, a fucking IT business. If you don't get your name out there first before putting your business out there, and people don't know about you, because you're just another name in a hat with a million other names,
Yeah.
and for that one person to pull your name out, it's gonna be fucking very rare. So you need to. It's like if you have a row of shops and they're all selling the same thing, and you're in the middle, and you're selling that one thing in the shop that's different to everybody else's, you're more likely to get that click than you are the people that are doing the same shit, or copying this person or that person. There's nothing wrong with copying people, but just change it up just to make it your own.
Yep.
Whether it's
Innovate on it.
That's what I mean. You've got to innovate to escalate. Do you know what I mean? If you don't
Yeah.
innovate, you're not going to escalate. You're just going to be still fucking flatlining at the bottom because you're doing the same as every fucker else. So
here's the question: you talk about doing something different. Here's a question: where does your name come from, Monster? Because we talk about branding and we talk about identity on Twitch. What
when I first started, when I first got my first ever online gamer tag, it was UKzMonster19 because I'm dyslexic, I can't read. I spelled it wrong, and Billa let me get to 5th prestige on Black Ops 1 and goes, "You do know your name's spelled wrong, don't you?" I'm like, "No, it's not. What do you mean?" Yeah, it was spelled fucking wrong. So then it went to a Monster 19. I wasn't even 19. I think I was 16. I don't know where the 19 come from. And then it was because anytime anybody see me or the year the can opened, they're like, "Oh, he's on a Monster again." I used to drink 7, 8 of them a day. Back in the day. I still drink them now, obviously, and I was addicted to them. I loved the black and green. That's why everything on my channel is always black and green. Joker's green and purple, but he's got green in him, so I like him. It's just always been the brand for me. It's just black and green. I just love them two colours together, and I've always loved it since I think it was PS2. There was a game called FIFA Street, and you used to be able to customize
I
your
played
kit.
FIFA Street. I love that game.
Yeah, you had to customize your kit, and my kit was always black and green, or green and gunmetal grey, because I just always thought the colours popped together. They just look really nice. So Monster was green and black. I loved the drink, so it started off
Do
with the
two
Monster,
together.
and then as I got older, it was like, yeah, I need to sort of change this a little bit. I'm from the UK. There was no clans or anything like that on COD with UKs in it that I knew of, so I just put it as that, and then I started making my own clan, which one was it? We had 2. We had it was Ultra. I think it was, and then because I was Ultra Monster on it, and we had loads of trick shotting stuff on Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, and yeah, there was times where we was gaming, and I only used to snipe, as you know, you've seen me fucking snipe on COD. Imagine me when I was a 16-year-old on about 17 monsters and wide out my face. We used to make people leave. Nobody wanted to play us. Nobody had play us. As soon as they seen us come in there, they'd gone. It was getting to the point where nobody wanted to play with us anymore. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. So that's sort of where Monster come from as well.
Nice.
So,
So
yeah.
do you think you'll ever rebrand at all?
I would, but I don't know where I'd want to take it. I could use my real name,
Right.
but there's a few complications with using your real name.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you're getting at. Yeah, 100%.
So it's if I did ever get to the point where I'm publicly known and people know my face, I'm gonna get people coming out the fucking woodwork trying to get their hand in my pocket type shit. Do you know what I mean? And I don't fuck with people like that. It's like, where was you when I was struggling, trying to get myself from the pits of hell to the fucking gates of Jesus up there somewhere? Do you know what I mean? And now because I've got a little bit of money and I'm starting to make something of my life, I don't think you're coming out the fucking woodwork, mate. I'd rather come and give fucking people that come and give, like people in the stream, I've said, if I ever make it big, the first thing I'm going to do is sort them two amazing people out there that have helped me through fucking the worst parts of my life, and the people on my stream, anything they needed, I'd give it to them, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have carried on streaming. I wouldn't have the confidence I've got now, and I wouldn't be in the mental state I am now if it wasn't for people like yous and coming by and chilling, chatting, giving me more confidence to keep taking myself out of my comfort zone with the bean boozles and burning my mouth and my stomach to death. And yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just, it's all, for me, it's all to do with my head, because I'm in a constant fight with myself in my brain, thinking that I'm never going to be good enough to do this, that, and the other. And it's just the way I've always been. Whether it's, I could wake up one morning and I'll be perfectly happy, and then all of a sudden I'm having a battle in my brain where, should I stream today? Is anybody going to turn up? Am I gonna keep them entertained? Are they just going to fuck off as soon as they get here because I'm boring? And it's a constant fight always.
Yeah,
always.
I want to jump in. I would agree with that statement. Like the mental agony, or not the agony, but the mental, the second guessing that you go through. Like you have say you have a great stream one night and you hit numbers you've never hit before. The next day you're like, are they going to come back? What did I do differently that made that stream better than that one? Can I replicate what I did there? Do I need to replicate that there? Fuck, is anybody going to show up? Do I even need to hit the button today? What the fuck is the point? Like, I think that's a common
Joanna
fear.
did probably tell you on this one. There's been load, like, even when I know, when I've looked at my analytics and the numbers are low, and I've had a fun time, because the first 5 months I always had my view account.
Right.
And I'd watch
oh God, I never run viewer count.
Then go down, and then it was like you'd see it on the stream. It'd be like I'm dead happy at 1 minute, and as soon as that dropped down, it'd be like, fuck. Then my mood would change. So now I don't have it on, and
me neither.
The streams have been way better, whether there's somebody there or not. I'm just fortunate enough to have people come back. I don't know why my voice is annoying, but people still come back. Do you know what I mean? So now it's a lot of the time I go in, it's like, Joanna, I don't know whether this is gonna work. I don't know. I'm putting all this time in, doing this, that, and the other, trying to do this, and it's still small growth. Like, I know I've got quite a few followers and shit, but followers don't necessarily mean viewers. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather have the viewers than the followers, because for me, the interaction and people telling you, oh, you could do this, or you could try that, or try and do this, or change this, or do that. This is too loud, or that's too quiet. It's because you can't do it all on your own. You need that little bit of a team there with your family to help. But to be fair, I've probably had more support of random people on the internet I've never met in my life than I have of my home family.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's I don't mean like Joanna, like she's my family, but I mean like actual family that I know have the access to be able to go on a Twitch and just throw the phone on the side while I'm streaming for 3 hours. They just don't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's I'm not bothered. People have got the shit to do. They don't want to do. They don't have to do it. But just to have that little bit of a boost at the beginning, where I'll put you a little bit higher on that fucking view count, might potentially bring somebody in, and they might like your content, which therefore might bring them back again. Because if you're always down at the bottoms, it's so hard for people to find you. It can be a proper kick in the dick, and it's like, the fuck am I doing all this for? But then when you do get them streams where it's people are chatting and I don't know, they're fucking having a laugh with you, taking the piss out of you a little bit, they're the streams, or even having heart to hearts. I've had so many like deep conversations on my stream with people that have been having a shit day, or they just wanted somebody to speak to, and then they've sent me a message afterwards saying thank you for the talk, it's really helped me, I want to try and do this, that, and the other. Because for me, if you're not happy with yourself, how do you expect anybody else to be happy with you, what you're doing? Because if you're not happy with yourself, people are going to clock onto that. People can see through that shit. People can see when you're trying to put too much into it to get... Do you know what I mean? People can see when you're trying to do too much, when you're not really That's not
Genuine.
you.
Yeah, when you're not genuine. Chris, what,
Yeah.
what do you think? Jump in. You've been quiet for a bit.
I've just been soaking everything up. But no, I think I would have to agree because it's the same. Like you were saying, like so, it can be something as I wouldn't say strange, but something like they do always seem to know. Like people always know. That's why it. I wouldn't say it annoys me, but like I put up a post on Twitter a couple of days ago about a UK football player that had taken his own life at 32 years old.
I saw that.
And it kind of spurred me in the fact that for years and years and years we've been talking about how, like, especially in men, suicide rates are so high because men have been brought up that you can't show emotion. If you show emotion, you're just a woman.
Stop being a mad
And
ass,
it's
get
like,
on
well,
with it type
why
shit.
are we denigrating women? Like, why do women get like insulted in this because men are like taking their own lives? And I made the point of if anybody on my Twitter like are struggling with anything, talk. And like you said, like people come into your
That's
stream,
where I
and
was
if you're
being
if
wrong.
you're knowing a good mindset, they'll notice. And it's like, well, if people are noticing, why are more people not asking questions? Why are more people
Because
not
people
like?
find it easier to just walk away than they do to actually speak to somebody because they think, oh, it's not my fucking problem. That's their problem type. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
like that where they're only in shit for themselves, which is a good thing in some situations. But when you genuinely see somebody and you know they're not all healthy up here, because a healthy mind is a healthy body. Because if your mind's in the right place, you're going to be able to look after yourself. Where if you can't look after yourself and you're in that state of where you don't want to shower anymore, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to speak, and when you do speak, it's like you're naughty all the time. You're just picking at everything that everybody does. It's not a good thing because I've been in that situation where I've had suicidal thoughts,
Right.
but I know I couldn't pull myself to do it because I've had people in my family. Well, one person in my family who has took his life due to like stuff that he's seen, and because he was in the army and family were taking the piss and shit like that, and he did end up taking his own life. No intoxication, just did it straight off his own back, clear-headed, gone, just gone, and that was a bad thing to like. It wasn't a close family member, but he was still a family member, and I think I don't know if you'd call it PTSD, but I think I've had some sort of thing like that embedded in me my whole life because through the day I'm perfectly fine. But as soon as it comes to night time, I've got my headset on a lot of the time, so I don't hear it. But if I didn't have my headset on and I heard like it could even be a can just rolling down the street, my heart's like this, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then when I ended up asking my nana what had happened to me, like why she got custody of me, she went, I need to go in the loft and get you something. And she got me all the court papers, this, that, and the other, read them. And I found out what had happened in my life, and now it's like, now it's all starting to make sense. So for me, when I don't even really go out my house anymore, like it's got to, like, I'm not depressed or anything like that anymore. Well, I do on my days, but I'm on a work in progress. I'm more 80 to 20% better than I was before I started streaming because I was like 20% good, 80% bad, like bad. And it was one of them things where I wouldn't speak to nobody. I wouldn't tell anybody nothing. It was like, what's the matter with you? I just can't be asked. I just can't be asked. Didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to speak. And then I ended up, like, I did smoke a lot of cannabis and all that shit. That wasn't obviously helping, but I thought it was. I touch it every now and again, socialing and shit like that. But I'm not on it all day, every day, spending dough on it all the time. Where now, my head's clearer. I can speak to Joanne about stuff, unless I genuinely don't know why I feel down that day. Because sometimes you'll wake up, you've got no motivation, you're just angry, and it's like, what the fuck, what's wrong? Why am I angry? What's wrong with me? And Joanne, she's been through some shit with me. I'm telling, like, I've not, like, done anything to her or anything like that, but just my moods alone obviously affect other people around you. It's not just yourself you're affecting other people, but they love you that much, they're going to stay there and try and help you no matter what. Because I've even said it to Joanne, it's like, I don't want to live anymore. Like, I really don't. It just seems like everything I'm trying to do, something's always like, nope, get the fuck back over here. What you going over there for? You're meant to be here type shit. And you could have 40 people around you trying to help you, and you could still be the loneliest motherfucker in that room. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how many people you've got trying to help you. You could still be that loneliest person ever. And it's a silent fucking thing. Because with depression, you can't feel it. You can't taste it. You can't work it out. It's just there. Comes, then it's gone. It comes, then it's there.
Yeah.
And it's
the silence of it. It's the fact that the people that have it, like I've struggled with it for a good number of years as well, and the way I kind of chalked it up to it is a lot of people didn't know I struggled as much as I did because dealing with it myself, I knew how shitty it was, and I would try so hard to make sure the people around me didn't feel the same way I was feeling. So on the outside, I got really, really, really good at hiding that shit.
That was the same for me, that.
It wasn't until the last maybe 2 years, and without getting sappy at it like that.
And 11 months, mine's been.
Yeah, well, my one kind of thing, and no getting soppy, but it was the Hendo in chat, that's the guy I work with.
Yeah.
It's over the last 2 years, or year and a half of knowing him, that I've been a lot more
open
and talking and sharing how and like I've shared with Ross quite a few things in what I'm feeling in a certain moment, and Ross has been the type of guy to kind of go, right, get your shoes on, I'll be over in 20 minutes, we're going out a drive, and he'll just take me out for a few hours just driving about, don't even have to talk about what's been bothering, but just out there. And I think that, like, it's hard to think me because no everybody will have somebody in their life like that.
Yeah, definitely not. That's a good thing that you found somebody like that.
The thing that I would say is there are people out there, if you're willing to push yourself out just that wee bit. I know it's a difficult, I've been there, I've done that, it's a difficult thing to just push that boat out that wee bit. That the hardest part of depression is admitting and asking for help. And once you get that point, you realise just how fucking stupid you've been not asking for help in the start of it. Like, all you've needed is just put out your hand, because I can promise, and anybody in chat, anybody that listens to this later on, I can absolutely guarantee and promise you, if you put out your hand for help,
there's somebody that's going to grab it.
Somebody that's going to grab it the other side. There's always somebody.
See, for me, it was like, I told Joanne that I know that there's something not right. I don't know if it's depression, if it's PTSD, if it's anxiety, bipolar. I don't know what it was, because at one minute, in any moment in time, I could just switch and a bit angry and just even still disorder. Now today, I cannot get out of bed. Like, I'm still up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, but I'm awake at 6 and I physically can't get myself out of bed. It's like, I want to get out, but it's like, I can't move. I just can't move. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I'm bone idle and I don't want to get out of bed. Well, nobody wants to get out of bed, but I genuinely can't get out of bed most mornings. I have to have a fucking fight with myself. Like, come on, get the fuck up. It's like, I'm not even asleep. I'm just there. And I just physically can't move. And then Joanne said to me, go and speak to your doctor. And this was my mindset on it. I said, why the fuck would I go and speak to my doctor? He doesn't know me. He doesn't know anything I've been through. I don't even know what the fuck I've been through, because this was before I got all the paperwork.
Right.
Why am I going to go and speak to him? You know more about me than my doctor, because my medical history is low. If I get ill, I stay at home. I just let my body fight it myself. I've very rarely been to hospital or anything like that. So it was just this one day, I ended up proper breaking down and telling Joanne, I think it's because of this, and this. But I'm pretty sure my nana's got she's got something. So I rang my nana up. I was like, Nin, do you know why I'm feeling like this? I told her that I was smoking weed and told her everything. My nana and my granddad come round and they were sat there talking to me and shit. I ended up breaking down and telling them, breaking down every single little detail. And it was only until she went, right, I'll have to get your uncle to go in the loft, get these paperwork, because we kept it for whenever you wanted to. We wasn't going to tell you until you asked.
Yeah.
Which I thought to myself, yeah, that's a good thing, but I'm 28, 29, well, 27, 28. I'm clearly old enough. You could have at least said something.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, but I wouldn't take nothing out of them. They've been, if it wasn't, I've actually got a picture of them. If it wasn't for these two people, right here, right now, I wouldn't be on this planet. Put it that way. I'm telling you now. They took me on at 16 months old. Them two there, they're still living and not dead. But there's my nana and my granddad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you know what I mean? Them two there have been my mum, my dad, brothers, everything and everything. They had taught me the manners to always treat women with respect. I've never hit a woman in my life, never thought of it. If I would have gone from my mum and my dad's side, it'd be a whole fucking different story. I wouldn't be the human I am today.
Yeah.
But just the experiences from past life is what's made, this is what parents don't realise. If you're telling your kid to shut up crying, stop doing this, stop doing that, it's going to affect them in the longer run because they think it's a wrong thing to do. Crying is not a wrong thing to do. Crying is letting out the shit that's been building up inside you for this whole amount of time. That's the whole reason why you cry.
Yeah.
Unless you've just been found guilty and you're just fucking trying to put a sob story on, unless you're one of them people. But do you know what I mean? It's, please speak to people. No matter how daft or fucking stupid you think the situation is, that situation will escalate if you don't speak to people. Because what happened to me in the past was what cleared my head a bit and what started me on that path. Because it's like, I couldn't fucking do nothing. I was only 13 months old. That's not my fault. But now I've got still vivid memories of what happened. They're the things that are causing this depression, anxiety, and not wanting to do certain things. It's that started it. So now I know I can't physically change that. It wasn't my fault. I know I can sort of move forward. I'm not going to be 100%, but that's where I started getting to the 80% and 20% bad. And it's been a hell of a lot better. And then I started streaming, started meeting amazing people like you lot and the regulars that come by the stream. Yeah. And now I'm like 90% better.
Isn't one of the things that you notice that once you do start talking to somebody, you notice that everybody has damage?
Yeah. 100%.
For a long time.
Whether if it's from minor to major, everybody's got something that's happened, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Even now, we all went through 2020. We've all seen some shit.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. And I know we got to come to the happy ending here shortly because we're running out of time with you. But I don't want to cut this short. I think one of the major reasons that everything is the way it is because we think that our story is so horrible that nobody could possibly understand it, right? Nobody could understand the shit that we went through individually. But the minute you open up to like somebody like Joanne or like Bernadette or like your friend Ross or like my friends growing up, my friends Mr. Vacalum and Get Girl, they're people who support the channel. I've known Vacalum for 24 years and like I've went through a divorce with him. I've went through just shit. And the whole time he's like, let's go, put your shoes on, let's go. Or even with Bernadette now, I've been with Bernadette almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in September. We've been through her damage. We've been through our kids' damage. We've been through our damage separately and together. And the one thing you find if you have the courage to reach out is that one, you're not the only broken one there.
Nope.
Two, people are going to actually give a shit if you're honest and true about opening up. And three, there are assholes everywhere,
like,
but
the thing is, though,
assholes are outnumbered by good people.
I think a lot of it, though, is because we're obviously internet people. It's the trolls that I think stop people from, whether you're posting it on Twitter to say, yo, I need somebody to speak to, just somebody's going to reach out to you, but you're always going to get that fucking asshole what you're attention seeking for.
but they are nobodies. They
Right.
are
Do you know what I mean?
pathetic,
We know-
wasted
yeah.
That's what I mean.
faces that the
And I
world
think
would be better
with
if
the
they were
internet,
just
that's why
not there.
people don't do it on the internet as much, because people think you're trying to get sympathy. You're trying to get the sympathy vote. No, I genuinely need fucking help.
What you have to
don't-
remember, but is those people, like the people that are trolls in that, there's a good chance that they're putting out because they're in the same position of they're not getting the love and attention that
Yeah.
they require. So
Mhm.
like I've dealt with people like that, not necessarily on the internet, but just in general life where it's like, and I've literally just like spoke to them and kind of had the let's unravel this onion. Why are you like what is that? And it's always the same of it's just I just want to enjoy. I'm just having fun. As I but why is the hatred of others and the pain of others and your thing? And it turns out that they've maybe had a bad childhood. Maybe their parent used to beat them as they were growing up. Maybe they didn't have parents. Maybe for the first 20 years of their life they went through it,
Yeah.
and they've just kind of had that. It's the wrong break of they done this to me and they seem to have turned out okay, so maybe that's how it is. So
Yeah.
like there's a lot of things that you can't really blame. Like there is people on the online and that are just downright like sorry for Americans cunts. But
No, it is what it is. If they are, they are. That's facts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so many of them are just misunderstood people that have a backstory that maybe that's them crying out for help as well,
Yeah,
in their
it could
own
be, yeah.
weird way. So that's the difficult balance that you have to think
Yeah.
is trying to deciphering whether they're just a prick that's being a dick or
Mhm.
they're
Definitely.
they're in a similar boat where they've seen you reaching out and they've kind of like they've went through the same thing of it's only women that show emotions throughout their life where that's just what they've been trained into, which isn't right. And like Dox was saying, it's like he's got people in his life that he's went through. The likes of like Hendo was there when I went through the darkest moment in my fucking existence. While he went through his own breakup, he was still there making sure that my
That's how you know when
day-to-day
you've
thing
got like
was.
that's true friends. That because
Ross is a
do you know what I
complete
mean?
good egg.
It's
Like,
that's how you know when to keep your friends close at them times in life. Because if you reach out to friends, you could reach out to 30 of your friends if you had 30 friends, and if none of them got back to you, and it's like, now I know who the fuck
Yeah.
my friends are. At least you know now to the amount of people that you reached out to. If
Yeah.
he's the only one that reached out, it's like, at least I
But the
know
crazy
now.
thing is similar with Dox and with me and Dox. Like, I met Ross 2-3 months before that. Like it
That's
was just we
crazy
started
then.
working
Yeah,
together,
that's good. That's
and
crazy, man.
within those 3 months, he's the only person that I actually talked to and still talk to from that part of my life. But like that was only 2-3 months into your friendship where that shit went down in my life, and he like credit to him, he stepped the fuck up and just even though he like I imagine he had no fucking idea what he was supposed to say, do.
That's what I mean. No, that's
But it
what,
was
like the
still
person on
there.
the
It
other end.
just
As long that's all you need is that person. Whether they don't have to speak, as long as it's a physical presence that you know is listening to you, and so and it's like even if they just give you a quick hug and it's like, yo, bro, I can feel everything you're going through. You're not alone on this. People have been through this too. That's all it could possibly take for you to be like, shit, I might not actually be the only one I'm not broken. There's other people that are going through the same shit as me. I just needed to let it out. Having that one person, 2 people, 1,000 people, whatever you've got, to just say to you, you just need to realize there's people around you that are going to help you. I will listen to you. But some people still don't have that, and I think that's a bit of a shame. And that's why I've always said, even on my Twitter, my Twitch, my Discord's always open, my Twitter's always open. I've even got mental health awareness things on my Twitter for people to click on, and there's helplines that they can go and ring if they feel like they need to. Because when you're in your darkest moment,
Mm.
And people, there's nobody there for you. That's when the shit goes south. That's when people start doing the things that they don't want to do, whether it's
Yeah.
drugs, taking their own life, drinking, this, that, and the other. But if you've got that one person to sort of break down where it's all started from day one till now, and it's
Yeah.
like, fuck, this is what it could have been. Now I know I can't do fuck all about that now. Past is past.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
try and rebuild from where we were, and let's try and go up instead of fucking down. Because I know when you're in that deepest, darkest hole, the light looks like, how the fuck am I getting out of here? I'm not getting out of there. How the fuck do you expect me to get out of there? This is shit.
Mm.
There's nowhere for you to go. You're in a
Yeah.
fucking box the size of you.
Right.
But then as soon as that one person reaches to you, you sort of realize that the light is closer than what you think. You just need that
Yeah.
little push.
So,
That's it.
Not to be an asshole, but
Oh, no, that's good.
We're
It's good.
coming up on short time.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to cap this conversation with you, Monster, off before we get to
go
the
for
happy ending. Is if you were going to give advice to anybody, be it streaming advice, mental health advice, fatherly advice, what's one piece of advice that you could give to somebody who listens to this podcast on any of the podcast platforms or watches it on the VODs on Twitch or YouTube or whatever? What's one piece of advice you could give them going forward?
I'd go with the mental health, because with streaming's a whole different ball game where mental health's a more personal thing to me. I'd probably say no matter how you feel and how stupid you think or bad you think your situation is, try and speak to whether it's a random person, a family member, and just speak. Don't feel ashamed to be thinking you're putting your burden on somebody else or you're going to fuck up their day, because you'll be quite surprised that somebody totally random will turn around and say to you, "Yo, come here. I'll give you that hug. I'll give you that shoulder to cry on. I'll be that ear for you to fucking ramble into for an hour." Speak to somebody and get the shit off your chest and try and figure out some type of coping mechanism to make that thought process change. Because if you're going through the same thought process every day, you need something to break it. So then as soon as that link's broken and you realize where it's starting and coming from, you can sort of progress slowly but surely and take every day as it comes to better yourself and not try and get in that hole again. It's sort of like leveling your hole out as you're getting up through the days. So in mine is, don't ever feel ashamed to ask for help, because I did, and it didn't end well. It ended up with me being in a worse state than I was. So I'm wasting a hell of a lot of fucking money. So definitely speak to somebody and try and do it as soon as you can. Whether you think it's a little fucking problem, a massive problem, just speak, because speaking is a big part of it. A very big part of it, because that's the starting process of realizing, fuck, I'm not the only one. Even though you do think you're alone and you're the loneliest person on this earth, you feel like there's nobody there, and you could be in a room of 1,000 people. Do you know what I mean? It's a lonely place to be when you're in them situations.
What about you, Chris? What's your piece of advice? And then we got the happy ending to come, so but I wanna make sure we get.
I like these.
All right. What's your advice, Chris? What do you got?
Well, I'd probably stay on the mental health thing, because personally, to me, mental health affects everything. Like your streaming, your parenthood, getting to work. Mental health is one of the most important things, and for far too long, people have been shunned away for trying to share their struggles. Like you said, like everybody, like this argument of, oh, everybody's always got something. Like somebody's always worse off. I hate that analogy. There's always somebody going through. That other person can go through them because I'm dealing with this. Like, it might be a shitty thing. It might just be something mundane, but it's your entire world. And I would agree with, there's always somebody there. This whole, we're all in the same boat. We're not all in the same boat. We're in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat. Some people have got yachts. Some people have got rubber dinghies. We're all in the same storm. And the only way that we can do that is
uniting,
helping each other out and going, well, come aboard my dinghy, come aboard my rowing boat. Let's get through this together, because until we start understanding that yes, our lives might feel shittier than other people's, we may have the key to help someone else, in which someone else might have the key to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to find out if someone else has the key is to either open up or help other people. So just cast whenever you're in. Like I've done it countless times when I'm in games. Like Dox has seen it playing League of Legends. I am the most wholesome, annoying player in chat when it comes to League of Legends, because you have everybody else shouting and screaming, and I'm going, "Come on, boys, we're going to have a great time. Everybody, let's have a good,
You know
fun
what, though?
game."
That's Joanne. That she sees the brighter side in absolutely everything, and that's what I love about her. Like even when I was in my darkest time, she was like, "Don't worry about it. We'll get it sorted. There's always going to be a better day. There's always light at the end of that tunnel, no matter how dark you think
Yeah.
that fucking tunnel is." And it's like I was like, "But you don't fucking understand. I can't get out. There's no way out of this fucking thing." And me being a stubborn cunt and not opening up about what was actually. Yeah, I do understand you with that. When it's not infuriating, it is at the time. But then when you sit back and think about it, it's like, well, the fucking right. You just need to think.
Yeah.
Even if you don't open up to people, you helping somebody could eventually help you, because you know you've helped somebody else with their mental issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess to wrap it up on at least this segment with this conversation before we jump to happy ending, my advice would be coming from like the parent perspective. Like, if you're, whether it comes to streaming or mental health or whatever, when it comes to anybody in your life, just be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Be patient with the person or your kid. If your kid is struggling with something, get them the help they need. Do what you can to help them out, but don't do it for them. Make them do the work, but provide them the tools they need. And for people who are wanting to stream and be young streamers, you got to do the work. You can do the work, and you can build a community that's going to help you work forward to. But you got to be patient with it. Like, I've been doing this as an affiliate now 2 years. I've been streaming a total of 3 years, and I'm behind the curve on Monster, who Monster just started this year. But I don't care, because I'm happy with where I am, and I know my thing will catch. But for me, building guys up like Monster and Chris and helping Silver and all, that's what I like to do. So I know my patience in helping others will come back to me tenfold. So from that perspective, I approach it kind of like a parent. Like, be patient, be understanding, but be stern in your expectations. Be realistic in your expectations.
See, that's a good point, because that's one thing I do need to work on, is patience, because I don't have any. That's one thing I don't have.
And I know too. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination in anything I do. I get frustrated with my stream. I get frustrated with work. I get frustrated with my kids. But I always remember that there's another day. There's another stream. There's another thing down the bend. So just find the best tools you can find, be it for mental health or parenting or streaming. Find the best people to be involved with, and be honest with everybody. Be honest with yourself. Because if you're not,
you want to surround yourself with people that you would like consider your type of influence. You know what I mean? Like what you're trying to perceive on your stream, you want to surround yourself with them type of people. Because if you're getting in with a toxic community, you're going to end up with a toxic community yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they're all going to gravitate to that specific
things.
You know what I mean?
That extends to your kids and your family too. If you have if you have toxicity in your family and you're unwilling to deal with it, then it's just going to fester. So do what you can to provide yourself the best opportunity to succeed in all avenues.
Yeah, definitely.
So, now I want to. Voice line, hang on. So now we're gonna move into the happy ending. Monster, that was a hell of a conversation, bro. That was
Right.
great.
It was good to be here, mate. It was 100% good to be here.
We're
Most
gonna
definitely.
do the happy ending because I want to get your take on this, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, go for it. I'll stick around till the end, mate. I'll stick around till
At
the
the
end.
end of the happy ending, we'll spit out everybody's socials and do our thing. But for those of you that are new to the podcast, because we just came back live, we end our show, every show, with what we call the happy ending. And the happy ending is basically we're going to talk about a couple of news articles from around the world that just kind of make you smile, that just kind of lift you up. Because Chris came to me and he's like, I want to end the show on a high note, because all too often the news gets bogged down, and if it bleeds, it leads. So we want to end the show differently. So we're gonna talk, you know, about 30-40 minutes. We might hit that 3-hour mark because we ran a little long, which I'm okay with. We had a great conversation. So
Definitely. It's been amazing, mate. From my first ever podcast, I've loved it. I love everything about it. It's been amazing. If you ever want me again, just for
hell yeah,
conversation piece, don't have to be a guest, mate. I'll come on anytime.
Yeah,
What you need to do is
anytime,
go
mate.
on other podcasts, because if you go on other podcasts, you'll just find out how shite we were and realise that you should never have came on this podcast.
No, I mean, do you know what, mate? It's been an experience, because everything through streaming is always, I've done something new every stream. There's something different every single time, whether it's my own stream or somebody else's stream. And that's what I love about it. It's always different. And this is something totally different I've never done before. So there's another reason it's took me out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I'm down for this anytime. Anytime. It's been an absolute pleasure.
So we're gonna wrap it up with a happy ending. We'll break down the article, and then you just give your take on what you feel and what you vibe. So Chris, I think you started last week, so I'll start this week.
Yeah.
Because you started with the Highland Q's.
Yeah, it was the Highland Q's.
So this week,
fuzzy ginger bastards.
So this week, I came across a kind of a simple story. Like the last couple happy endings might have been kind of complex, and I wanted something real light. Mine is, it says, boy hero saves sister from choking after watching John Cena, who then congratulated him through a video. So the story basically breaks down is this young boy, this 8-year-old kid, realized that his 20-month-old sister was choking on a chicken nugget of all things. She was eating that chicken nugget, started choking, and the boy didn't panic, didn't do anything, did a maneuver. He basically proceeded to dislodge the chicken nugget from his sister by watching John Cena on a Disney show. It says
Nickelodeon.
Wow.
Yeah,
God,
a Nickelodeon show. He was watching a show called The Substitutes. John Cena had guest starred on it, and I didn't see the episode, so I'm assuming they did something where a kid choked and John Cena had to like save him. So by watching John Cena on a show, this 8-year-old kid was able to save his sister. And then later on, the kid's story gets out. John Cena sends this kid a video telling the kid that he's a badass and he saved his sister and everything. And it's just, you're like, yes, that is celebrity at its best. And who says you can't learn anything from watching TV? Like, come on now. An 8-year-old kid saves his sister. Like, what the fuck?
You know who I'd say is a really good inspiration for that I have seen actually over the past couple of years is Will Smith.
Yes.
That man is an inspiration to a lot of people. Like I love him because I Am Legend's one of my top 3 favorite films. And it was just because of his acting. I didn't know genuinely how he is in real life. And that man dedicated his whole life for his family, for his career as well. But every one of his videos is always telling people, you can be whatever you want to be. You just need to make sure up here is in the right place. If it's not, make sure you sort it out type shit. Do you know what I mean? So for somebody to learn something off a celebrity, when people only look at celebrities as a fashion statement, or they've got these type of clothes, they've got all this money, but they've learned something that's actually saved some fucker's life, that's an amazing thing to see, because you don't see him do that much. You get the odd story, or they've donated £1 million to this or to that, or you don't really see, oh, they've saved this person's life through just a simple program that they were watching, which is an amazing thing to see. I love that. I mean, that's mint.
Yeah, and the fact that like he credits John Cena for doing it, and then John Cena John
took
Cena
time out of his own busy day to send this kid a message is amazing.
But you also hear the shit about how John Cena got so much hate because of all his years in the WWE. Like everybody's like, "Oh, John Cena's boring. His shtick is old," and the fact that John Cena himself says the reason I've stuck to that same good guy persona for so long is this right here.
Mhm.
Some kid somewhere is watching him, and because of his actions through his movies or his social media presence or his videos, this kid saved his sister who was fucking dead because she was choking on a chicken nugget. And then John Cena goes and fucking sends the kid a message and says, "Yay, well done. You did good. Well, attaboy." Like, that's gonna make that kid's life for the next 5 years. Like, that kid's gonna be
100%, 100%, man.
and it wasn't even
Definitely.
because he didn't. It wasn't even because the kid wanted him to. It's the kid saved his sister, and somebody he idolized took the time out of their day to come and say, "Hey, you did a good thing."
You know what? That's a big thing of doing something for not expecting something in return.
Oh yeah, 100%. Chris, you want to jump in real quick on that?
It's not really like, it's just, it is a great story. It's, I like you were saying, like John Cena gets a lot of shit just for his persona and all that. And this is, funnily enough, this isn't actually the first time I've read a story in which somebody's credited John Cena and what he's done for time. Like, it just goes to show you. I mean, the story doesn't talk about how Jackson also pile drivered his sister and gave her a good power bomb a few days earlier. But no, it is such an amazing.
You can't see me.
Yeah, exactly. There is. It's like it is a nice thing when you see that something as simple as a TV show on Nickelodeon and one specific scene, like, it proves that kids do pick up shit. Like, that, something that you would, like, most people would just look at as a TV show, but I know fine well that if I ever get to the point of marriage, I will be playing the song at the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, just to make sure, just to see what guests start looking around. Like, but most people wouldn't have thought of that wee moment in a pro. But that scene has stuck with Jackson, that in that moment that it was needed, he was calmly able to go, "I know what to fucking do here." And like the dad said, they were driving at the time. The dad could hear the daughter. He couldn't hear that she was choking, but he could hear that she was or like, she wasn't panicking, she wasn't making any coughing or anything like that. He physically did not know it was happening because he was driving, and it was Jackson said to Dad, "You need to pull over. Something's happening with Leah."
Right.
And that's how it all kind of thing. It's like if he hadn't been able to kind of know in that moment what to do,
what choking
things would have been a lot worse. It wouldn't be a happy story; it'd be a tragedy.
Yeah.
And with the likes of the Nuggets, it just goes to show that the things we love can be the things that can just end everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
don't trust what you love, because they're the ones that will destroy you.
Yep.
Nuggets are the
Don't trust anybody. Nuggets
No,
are the
that
devil.
actually brings me back to the Jello shots. What would happen if you sucked one of them and it got stuck in your throat? That's what I'm scared to do. Like, and it just stuck in the back of my throat type shit. I know with a drunk
You
neck.
just take a straw and just start trying to.
I actually nearly choked when I was younger on an ice cube.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fucking ice
You'll
cube
just
got
wait till
stuck
it
there,
melts.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the
I
same
had
with the
to
Jello
pour
shot.
water down my fucking, like, warm water down my throat to melt it. I was going blue and everything.
I've actually had an experience like Jackson did. I've had to save my sister, who I no longer associate with. Unfortunately, she wasn't a very strong swimmer, and when we were younger, we used to go up to the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and there's a lake up there where there's a real strong drop off and undercurrents, and she thought she was the shit. She went under, and homeboy Dox went after her and drug her out by her hair. Like, I couldn't grab her, so I grabbed her by her hair twice.
Yeah.
Consecutive summers.
Wow.
And it was like, dude, you're like, because it's just like my mom and them were up on the beach grilling, drinking, not paying attention, right? And then she went under because she thought she was the shit and had to fucking go under, snatch her up by her hair, come up dragging her out of the water. My mom only sees I'm dragging my sister by her hair.
Yep, and you get in trouble.
I get in trouble. And then my sister doesn't say, oh, well, he saved me, because no, it's, Dax was pulling my hair. But
Yeah.
I think it shows something in that kid that a lot of people don't have, is that instinct to save people. Like, you either have it or you don't. You can't train that. You know what I mean?
No.
And the fact the kid displayed it so early, that speaks volumes of potentially what his character could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's
also
great.
shows that kids are not just
Mindless idiots.
like
No, they are
like
sponges.
kids
100%.
know shit.
Mm-hmm.
Kids probably know, like, can easily pick up. I mean, that's what they say, is that your brain stops really absorbing when you're 24. Like,
Mm-hmm.
after 24, it's work to try and maintain knowledge. Up until then, it's as a sponge, and it just shows that kids know a lot more than we give them credit for. Like, they're not just mindless idiots.
They're not just running around going for no reason.
Like, that's us at 30.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? A few shots and
Yeah, that's me at
Exactly.
40. So I'm older than the both of you fuckers.
But I'll be 30 next year, so.
Oh, kiss my
Yeah,
ass. I
no.
got 12 years on you. But yeah, I think it's great. And the other thing too about John Cena is known as the guy that has done more
Yeah, they do run around saying the Superman.
more Make-A-Wish wishes than anybody. Like, that dude has done more Make-A-Wish fulfillment stuff than anybody for Make-A-Wish. So I mean,
You know, I actually think that's an amazing thing, that Make-A-Wish thing, you know.
it is. It really is. And ultimately, like, Make-A-Wish, like, that's got to be hard, man, because you're going in and, kids aren't going to be around. Like, the chance of them making it after you visit them, that's got to be a burden. So to have a guy like that do that much Make-A-Wish on top of, like, sending messages to hero kids, like, that speaks volumes to his character too. And I think more often than not, like, celebrities who do that should be shouted out more than the fucking Paris Hiltons and the fucking Paul brothers and all that shit. Guys like John Cena, The Rock, Will Smith. Those guys should be shouted out way more. But
yeah,
I think it was a great story. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and I definitely think something like that is great. So, Chris, you've got an interesting story along the medical lines that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I've been kind of like, another fucking great story that's coming out of Scotland. That just tells you enough. Like, I've just been trailing the internet for good Scottish stories. Basically, there's a university out in Edinburgh called the Heriot Watt University. Basically, it's like a medical school that it's still like still a hospital.
It's a teaching hospital.
But it's and what the scientists and as it says, Scottish scientists have developed a system of lasers that melt away cancer cells without damaging normal healthy cells. It does go on to say that there's still a good 3 years before they'll be able to start doing human trials. But basically, what it is a lot of cancers, they've not been able to work with lasers because the lasers are so powerful that it damages normal healthy cells around it. But they've developed a laser that fires at something like 1/trillionth of a second. Like, it's like 1/trillionth of a second. That means that it's able to cause enough heat to burn the cancer cell, but the heat doesn't radiate enough to the surrounding cells. At the moment, the only part of cancer that they've done like clinical testing on is colorectal, so like your colon cancers. They are wanting to start working towards the likes of brain, head, and neck cancer. Be a lot more help to a vaster patient.
You know what? That's the crazy thing with cancers, though. There's that many different types and where they can develop and start and grow. And it's a really fucking tricky thing to try and actually medicate and fix. I know some of them are life-threatening and there can't be nothing done about it. But just for that fact of that being able to do that that's fucking next level amazingness, that shit. Because obviously there's people not here today who would be able to try it if they was able to, but at least now moving on in the future, more people are going to be able to not suffer from that.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the craziest part that comes from this thing. Like they go into they go into like they've celebrated tradition, Scottish medical breakthroughs nearly 100 years after Alexander Fleming isolated penicillin, because it was yet another Scottish scientist that created penicillin. But the crazy part of this whole like treatment is this one line, which, considering how much money and how much things like other aspects of medical marvels comes in, is the research in the laser tech was funded by a £1.2 million grant from the Engineering and Physical Sciences Council. £1.2 million is what they use to be able to develop this.
You know what the funny thing is, though? There's been billions put into certain shit, and they can't even They can't even figure that out. But a million, that's not a lot considering.
Yeah,
to
in
get
the
a
grand
CAT scan,
scheme
that could
of
probably cost
that,
more than that shit. Do you know what I mean?
and they've just single-handedly went, do you know what? See all this.
You know what
shite
that is,
you're
though?
talking about?
That's scrimping and scraping in the fucking depression. That learning to manage shit, and it's like learning to know where they can.
Well, this has been going for quite a few years. Like, they have been developing, so we can't really put it down to the pandemic. But I do think like this past year has kind of proven that we can do a lot of shit if we try.
Definitely.
Like it isn't a money-based thing.
Well, one of the interesting things in the article, they talk about the laser itself, how they talk about the light. The light generated is something called deep ultraviolet light. The interesting thing about that is it doesn't even originate here on Earth. So they had to go to a portion of the ultraviolet spectrum that only occurs in deep space, and it's something that astronauts have to take into account for. So for somebody to literally take a million pounds and say, well, we can't use a laser light that's generated here on Earth. We've got to go on something that's only generated in deep space. Like, that's insane. I've never heard of deep ultraviolet light before.
Yeah, same. That just actually made my brain just go.
There is another part in it when they talk about is there. I think that's another reason why it only costs like 1.2 million is the fact that they do talk about the optical fiber based device that target and kill cancer cells, and then they talk deep ultraviolet. But it does say that last September it was announced that the university £1 million grant to investigate deep ultraviolet light therapy in the practice of germicide. So again, in the grand scheme of things, £7.3 million has garnered the ultraviolet light therapy and these lasers to be able to focus on cancer cells without damaging. And they do go on that they are going to develop technologies that generate the light so it's at the right wavelengths where it remains germicidal without the harmful effects.
Yeah.
So they are also looking at other
applications,
not necessarily just cancer, but other avenues that this potentially could help.
Yeah.
So it's just like it is a mind blowing.
That's probably the best thing I've heard. You know, like development wise, in the past couple of years, because you've not heard nothing come out to try and how like that's been developed for anything else. You know what I mean? That's quite a good breakthrough considering. Going from radiotherapy to fucking ultra whatever the wherever the fuck it's from.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To that, that's insane. That and to come from such a small place that hasn't got that much money to begin with, considering other places in the world that could fund triple that to put more into investing in this. That's fucking amazing. That's probably one of the best things you've heard that I've heard all year. That, to be fair,
that just speaks to one of the points that Chris and I have been really hitting on since we started this podcast and doing the happy ending specifically. Is one of the points we made is one of the things that we would like to see would be letting science and creative people do what they do without the hassle of bureaucratic bullshit. And like this
Yeah.
article and the Alzheimer's article we did a couple weeks ago just shows that if the politicians and the bureaucrats get the fuck out of the way and big business gets the fuck out of the way, a lot of the shit that plagues us can get fixed. If they don't fucking muck it up with like, oh, now we gotta
fucking interest.
Right. It's just it boggles my mind that we have so much shit that could be used for the benefit of our well-being that gets locked up and boxed up by politicians and big business. When you look at the insulin, the scientists who came up with insulin for diabetes, they didn't patent it. And the reason they didn't patent it, they specifically stated, is we do not want to patent insulin because we want to make sure that it is available for everybody. And look what's going on nowadays with just fucking insulin. 20, 30, fucking $500, $1,000 a dose for people just to let people live.
Yep.
It's fucking stupid.
And then when the pandemic happened, it was, especially in the UK anyway, like where we live, it was nowhere to be seen. People were scrambling here, there, and everywhere trying to get, because some people can only have certain insulins because they'll have reactions to certain ones. So they can only have certain ones, and they just wasn't there. They couldn't come into the country. We couldn't get out of the country to get in there. So it was a fuckery these past couple of years, though. With it, it's been crazy, but it is an amazing thing, because if they didn't have it, the body can't produce it.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? They need it.
But again, they keep it on the vein of the happy ending. Even with all that fuckery, even with all the political bullshit and all the big business, you still got shit like this happening. You still got young, talented, and just amazing people who are like, I see a problem, I'm gonna fix it. The problem doesn't have a fix. Let's dream it up and let's get the money to do it, and let's fucking do it. And that's amazing. Like, cancer is a huge 100%. Plague. Like we talked about all these diseases lately, like in our happy endings, we talked about Alzheimer's, we talked about cancer. Like, the fact that people are pushing back against that and still creating and innovating ways to cure it and ways
try and prolong it or cure it is it's amazing thing.
It's amazing. I could never do it. I don't got the brains to it, but like, I think stories like this, which is why I like the happy ending on this podcast so much, is we do hold up stories like this, because I didn't know about this. I didn't hear about this on Twitter.
Yeah, same.
Without trying to put a cheesy thing on it.
Right.
The journalist
because you're not cheesy at all.
The headline not in me would say this shows hope. it shows the ultraviolet light at the end of and the cancer sort of defeating. Like this, all this does is it shows that we are that extra step closer to finally ridding the world of this devastating disease. Yeah.
Yep. That's truly a fucking amazing breakthrough, because if only, obviously they couldn't have, but if people could have hung on a couple of years or months, however long it takes for this to go into human trials, that could have been somebody's life that could have prolonged to be the next best scientist, but they couldn't because they were. Do you know what I mean? It's an amazing thing to see. But obviously there's always got to be some sort of fall off to get the rise again. Do you know what I mean? There's always got to be some type of thing like that, which is all part of life itself, which is a good thing. The main
thing to think about it is those that have sadly lost their life to this shitty fucking disease. The way things are going, they're not going to have died in vain.
Yeah,
definitely not. Definitely not.
It is something that people have put their life into, of developing, that what others have went through will not have to go through again.
Yeah.
And that's the best way I would say to look at these situations. Is so many people, like I've lost family members to cancer, so it's like it's still a good thing to know inside that it's not that they're just being forgotten, is that people are looking at it as it's a serious thing. We need to stop this happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the way I look at it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%. So, this is the part of the show where we get to spew all our bullshit. So we'll start with our guest, Monster.
Mhm.
Tell the people who you are, what they can do, and where they can find you, and what you got coming up.
Well, obviously, you know me. I'm UKzMonster. Stream on Twitch. You can find me by putting UKzMonster in on Twitch. You'll find me there. I'm on Twitter at Monster UKs, and I'm on YouTube as UKmonster videos. And the things that I've got coming up really is going to be a hell of a lot more gaming, probably a hell of a lot more funny challenges. Because I know when I do finally hit 1,000 followers, I'm going to do another stream like I did on my birthday, where you get
Right.
a chance to egg me and pie me and all that type of stuff. So I've got quite a few things booked up for in the future with little challenges, spicy challenges, eating manky beans. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Doing all that type of stuff. So yeah, I've got quite a lot coming up in the future. It's just trying to keep my mental state on that straight and narrow,
Mhm.
to not let stupid things get in the way and like set me back type thing. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the future to see where all my Twitch family end up growing when we grow.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Can't wait for that. So yeah, that's where you can find me on there.
Nice.
Definitely.
Where can they find you and reach out to you, Chris?
Well, like last week, you can tweet me on Twitter at ChrisC90. That's the best place. It's really the only place. I don't use Facebook anymore. I rarely use Instagram. Like, I use it to post stories, but the stories that I'm posting are basically just my Twitter feed. That's pretty much it. So your best place is on Twitter, on the YouTube channels where we post all the VODs and that. I've also uploaded a few of my gameplays from my streaming, which you can find on Twitch. But again, unless you want to listen to a Scottish guy screaming his head off because he's getting scared at a game, it's probably not the place to be. But Twitter, definitely Twitter is where to get me.
Yeah, and like we say, and I'll do my spiel in a minute, but like we say on the show, if you want to reach out, if you need somebody to talk to, please reach out. If you have feedback or you want to share your thoughts in the conversation, do so. Like, get at us on Twitter, get at us in the comments, reach out to us any way you can, because we will respond. It might take time, but we will respond because we want to hear what you got to say. We want to hear your thoughts, your feedback, potential stories for us to talk about. If you have a happy ending story, reach out to us, let us know how that goes. But I am DoxRyan. You can find me at DoxRyan on Twitter. You can find me at DoxRyan on Instagram, which I use very rarely. You can find me on Twitch at DoxRyan, and you can find me on YouTube. Just search for DoxRyan on YouTube. It is what it is. I'm always around. I'm always doing something. I'm always hanging out with these two idiots. So I want to take the time to thank Monster for coming on and being a hell of a
Anytime,
guest.
it's been an absolute
Appreciate it.
fucking pleasure, mate. Absolute
Yeah, it's
pleasure.
been awesome.
And I want to thank my drunken brother from another mother over there, Chris. We appreciate you guys. So do me a favor, fellas. Tell everybody goodbye, and we'll see them next week.
Stay blessed, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Later. What's going to be happening now is I'm going to end the stream, and I might pop back later, or I might just edit because I got some stuff going on. I got to walk the dog. But thank you guys for listening and showing up. We appreciate you. Talk to you later. Bye.